is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Now more corporate than ever because we're on Zoom.
All separate.
Yeah.
All in 3 different windows.
Isn't that the way people do it now? I'm here, Tom's here, Sam's here, but you guys are live via Zoom, and I'll let you explain, Mr. Van.
Well, I got COVID.
There it is.
Again. Yeah.
Straight to the point.
Yeah. So it turns out on Monday I did have COVID
Okay.
in the studio with Daniel.
Yeah, all
Thank
day.
God I did not come in.
We were about to say, it's fine, just come in because a listener had it.
Oh, you're gonna put that guy on blast? I was gonna just not tell where we got it.
Oh, okay.
Because based on this now, we're probably are we gonna have to start doing
he doesn't care.
Are we gonna have to start doing a testing before you come in scenario?
Nah, he probably wasn't even testing.
I mean us, because we're supposed to restart having all these knuckleheads come back in here, and I'm all for it. Because for whatever reason, with my hypochondria, I give no cares about COVID. I'm literally I'm out there running around crazy. Now, everything else scares me, but COVID, not so much. But are we going to have to start testing, folks?
No, in my experience, you don't even test positive until you have symptoms. Because I didn't test positive on Monday when I came into the studio.
He didn't have symptoms when he was in here. This guy was fine.
And then neither did the listener. But then he said he felt bad that night. The listener that came in and watched Friday, and then tested negative that night. And then on Saturday, the next day, he tested positive.
Right.
And then he emailed us. And then me and you thought we were like, we may have dodged it. Because my wife and kids don't even have it yet.
I wonder if it does. I wonder if, because I am little. See, I don't want to say these things because this is what happened at Christmas. I started talking about how I don't have it and I'm little. And then next thing you know, I'm just a late bloomer, kind of like some ladies and boys are when you're becoming into maturity. I get my buds late, my pubes.
Don't say that.
Got my pubes late. But anyway, Sam, no COVID, me, no COVID, you got COVID. You're the weakest one in the show.
Nah, I know. I'm so mad about it.
Are you trying to expose your family to it? Or are you guys quarantining?
No,
what do you think?
Crystal hasn't slept in bed with me
in years. If we weren't on Zoom, you and I would have hit the same time on that.
But that was only after I tested positive on Tuesday. On Monday, we were all around. She slept in the same bed and all that. So since I tested positive, we kind of, I've been in the living room, in the kitchen, or whatever. We kind of walking around each other, so we're not, spitting in each other's face.
Oh, so, Sam, are you going to read what just got launched into the chat room by Tracy? What about the party and all the people that were compromised there? What about Brendan O'Connor?
Right. You guys didn't tell Brendan?
No.
Where Brendan? When was Brendan
he was there
on Friday?
Wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
I wasn't there, so I don't know.
It slipped my mind.
Oh, yeah, he was there.
It slipped my mind.
Oh, my God.
It totally slipped my mind. I'm just now thinking it. That's why this blushing is real. I'm actually blushing and I got hot because it's the one thing we didn't think to do.
Although the listener sat right next to me the entire time.
He did.
And the fact that Daniel didn't get Brendan would have had
What, he
COVID
cough all over you?
Well, no.
You guys were pretty chummy.
You know where the seats are where the listeners watch.
Oh yeah,
they're
they were
right
laughing right in your face.
Yeah,
and we were really funny that day, so it was ripe for COVID because the jokes were. We were slaying it.
Anyway, so that's why we're doing a mobily right now. So,
and you know how much I hate this. You know how much I hate the Zoom. I hate all things Zoom.
No, I know. But here's the good thing is that I woke up feeling great this morning and I have no more symptoms at all.
It's awesome.
So it hit me less this time. So remember we were talking about I should feel the same. And Sam's like, it's different every time. Well, Sam was right. It was
different every time.
Down. Hold on.
No, well, I'm sure it all
momentous occasion.
It's all different with different people. But this time didn't even have a fever. Like last time I had a fever, it felt like a flu. This time it felt like a cold. That's why I was like, it's not COVID. until I tested positive.
Right.
And then I had a headache this time, which I didn't have last time, for like 12 hours, but then that was it. And then it went fast. Like I felt bad on Tuesday, and then Wednesday morning I felt bad. But then yesterday I was doing yard work, and this morning I woke up felt totally fine.
Yeah, I'm always stuffy, and that headache that you're talking about is what I got when we all got COVID at Christmas. And I would not wish that headache on anybody. It's like the most grueling migraine-styled headache. At least for me, it was the worst part of it. It made my eyes hurt.
Yeah. I did. Yeah, it was just a pain in the ass. Probably because it's probably less because I had COVID 7 months ago and I had a booster shot in May. So that's probably why
Now,
it went so fast.
Let me ask you, not to get into COVID talk, but when you guys got your boosters, were your boosters pre-dosed and then they just popped you in a booster? Or did the person giving you the dose have to measure it out and give you the booster?
All of mine were pre-measured.
Yeah, mine wasn't. Mine, some lady, and then I laughed about it. She went to
What did you get?
She went to the refrigerator. I'm serious. This is like, it always happens to me too. It's like my medical marijuana doctor when she started talking about her kid shedding the vaccines on, or like it's a nightmare of misinformation. But this lady went to the refrigerator, got out a little vial like you would see in any horror movie where you would get out the serum to stop the scientists from turning into the monster. And she got out and she drew it out the right amount and popped it in my arm. And then she drew it a little bit less for Maisie and popped it in her arm.
Huh.
That doesn't seem right.
I know. It didn't seem right to me either, but I was like, we're here. It's just me and my kid. No big deal.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's at a Walgreens.
I didn't even pay attention, as you probably
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I figured you wouldn't know that. Well, what do you guys want to do? I mean, we've gotten through the fun part, which is to surprise all of our listeners that you guys are now remotely. I'm in studio, so I've got everything you guys want right here. You want some voicemails? You want some call-ins? You want some chat room? What do you want?
Let's do some voicemails. I will tell you a funny story. Yesterday when I was doing yard work, in the front of my house or whatever, my neighbor,
which one? Because you have so many characters on that street.
He was my neighbor that lives straight across the street. The one, Catman.
Oh, Catman. Okay.
I feel
Catman.
disrespectful saying Catman, but he's
well,
super
I mean,
nice.
and
That's just how the show knows him.
yeah, we mean no disrespect in that. It's a man who happens to very much enjoy cats or felines, right?
Yes.
Totally
And,
fine. No
Feline
problem.
friends.
No problem with that. We do have a call. Do you want me to place it on hold?
No, let's take it.
Okay.
Ooh, punch him up live.
Thanks for calling Tom and Dan and our version of Punch 'em Up Live. Who's this?
This is Mike B.
Oh, hey guys, it's Mike B from the Oh No Radio Show.
Hi.
What's going on, B?
Not much, Tom. I just wanted to call in and formally put in my application to be your Camel boy.
Ooh, so we were talking about the Camel Girl mask that normally rears its head every Tom and Dan BDM beach party, but I broke the news on Reddit last night to our Reddit group that the Camel Girl, the source of the Camel Girls that Tom used to have, is no longer in that business, and I think she found Jesus Christ, did she not?
Oh.
No. Well, so yesterday, it drives me crazy not being able to leave the house and whatever. So
You were antsy. I drove by his interface so he could do the show. Dude was already in Tiny Duke's shovel covered head to toe in mud, Sam. He'd been digging out there for like 4 hours, and I got there at like 11.
So
What the hell?
I know.
Anyway, I started like going through what we had to do, and then we got the BDM beach party coming up. So we talked about it on the BDM show, whether or not we were going to do Camel Girl or not, because anyway, long story short, we haven't done it in a while, and we're like, is it still, do people still want to do it? Is it weird? Is it objectifying at this point? Creepy? I don't know. Like, anyway, so we settled on everybody wanted to do it. So I text the old person that we used to go through to get these models. Like they're basically promo girls.
Yeah, they're like bikini girls or like the Red Bull girls. Or like the Winston. Remember the old cigarette girls that would walk around and you'd fill out their survey. They'd hand you a free Zippo.
And so anyway, there's this. I don't even know where I met this girl, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's what you have to say because your wife hasn't left for work yet, right?
No. I'm not even sure where I originally found.
Wasn't she a promo girl and then she got a little long in the tooth? No disrespect.
No, come on.
And then then they all become like madams, right? When you're a promo girl, when you're a Hooters girl, promo girl, a Winghouse girl, Twin Peaks, stripper, not so much stripper, but mostly other ones.
Also, porn star. It happens a lot too. They start their own production companies.
Yeah, Jill Kelly did that. Yeah, you start your own production company. You like start booking the girls because let's just say you don't have the elasticity that you used to.
So anyway,
Well, you're a business owner now. You don't have to do the work.
Yeah. I mean, but maybe you don't want to do it anymore.
and Daniel would see these interactions I'd have. I've never even met this person.
Oh yeah, look at this. All of the this sounds like
He's
sounds like the
distancing
January
himself.
6th hearings. This guy's like, I have no idea. I have no idea what's happening.
I'd text her and then she'd send me back pictures and be like, do you
How
want
about this
her?
girl? It was Sam. It was awesome because it'd be like an older hot girl sending him all like 9 younger hot girls and out, and she'd give him one of every. She'd give him like a Chinese.
No,
she'd give him like a Latin, like a mamacita.
No, different flavors.
Yeah, he'd give her like a very like give me a Lizzo, give me a tiny like a Holly Berry. And then we'd get a couple, and then you get a couple of your basic blondes. Then you'd always get one buck tooth in there, like a big mouth.
I went back to my text conversation, and I hadn't texted this person since when did we do our 10-year
September
anniversary?
11th? Is that what you were going to say?
No, it was it in October of 2019 or
Never
September?
forget.
I think it was September 2019.
Oh, Mike B's still on the phone.
No, leave him on the phone.
Okay.
He's
Yeah, I
listening patiently.
I got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a man of patience.
So, and we booked the dancers for our 10-year anniversary through her as well.
That was one of the creepiest things you've ever done. It worked out great, but when you Tom
What just happened?
My wife sneaked in here and it freaked me out.
Freaked me out.
What do you have behind your back?
A
A
knife.
gun.
Sorry. She snuck in here slowly with her hands behind her back.
He had a gun. He thought it was like a Lorena Bobbitt scenario going on.
He also has both his headphones on, so he's real creeped out.
We had to put those on. That he was sitting in just a world of him talking about his indiscretions.
So I'm going to go back to my text because I texted her yesterday and I said, hey, we're doing another event.
After like 3 years, you texted so casual. You didn't say like, hey, this is Thomas Mann from T&D
Right.
Media.
Now, I know. I said, hey, and her name. And then I said, hope everything is well.
Hey, Fifi.
And then I just said, I'm not sure you're involved in the industry anymore.
The
I said-
industry.
I said,
I want to know if you're still in the
what she does.
Yeah, are you still in the poon game? All right.
Oh man.
And then I just said, we're looking for,
I'm looking for a couple of sweet nugs for an event.
I said we're looking for a model for this event we're doing at the beach, blah, blah, blah. And
Please send me 9 of your finest in different arrays.
And she texted me back, she is no longer in the business.
That's all she
So-
said?
Yeah. She said she's not doing that. And then she also said, I would have
John
no idea.
3:16.
I can't even refer you to anybody because I don't know anybody in the business anymore. So
Oh, she definitely found God.
She found Christ. I
No.
told you that.
Yeah.
When people find Christ, they go, and it's not a bad thing, but it's just you got to
No.
swear off all that stuff. And you were one of the numbers in her phone that she didn't know. She just had Tom, but she didn't know you were a sexual deviant.
I don't think that it exists anymore. Because think about
it
how
exists.
many, like, I think COVID killed that, even though the events are back, but when's the last time you've seen a promo girl? I mean, I bet there's few and far between, right?
At Johnny's, when we were out there with Mike Busey, there were promo girls.
Yeah, but were they in bikinis? I don't think that. I
No,
don't think
they were
anybody's
in
willing
like
to do that.
They were like what do you call them? Not bikinis, but like crop top jean shorts.
Were they with Mike?
No, they were like for some beverage, like Dos Equis.
Well, also remember it was that guy's like birthday party, like
you're
beach
right.
party or whatever.
Yeah, it was
so
like
I think those were his friends.
A Baywatch thing.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
So anyway, is Mike still on the phone?
Yeah, he's here.
I'm right here.
Mike. All right.
State your case. Why would you be a good camel boy?
All right. So first of all, I mean, I don't got the name Mike B Cups for nothing.
Fair.
I mean, if we're trying to separate ourselves from like objectifying women, maybe objectify the old Mike B for a minute.
I feel like, but I feel
Should
like
be Mike
He just
C
laughed
at this
COVID
point.
out.
I feel like they're more like sloppy C's. You know, like they're. You know what, Mike B? If I chop your head off, you look like my mom naked.
It should be Mike P
Your mother was
for pancakes.
Your mother was an amazing woman.
Oh,
She was an amazing woman, but I mean, as she aged, you know, her body,
Mikey
I mean, I'm
pancakes.
not at full eggs nailed to a drywall, but
No, you're not. They're more. It's more. I don't even want to say what you look like because I may lose a friend.
dude, I think it's the weed. I think I got that man boob disease from the weed.
Does weed give you
man boob
boobs?
disease.
Weed gives you boobs. No one told me that. My doctor that said that you can shed the virus. She didn't tell me that.
Bro, it's like 40% of dudes can get man boobs from weed.
I didn't know this. Did you know that,
Oh, yeah.
Tom?
Well, all I know is Snoop Dogg doesn't have that.
He doesn't.
Better genetics.
He does have better genetics.
Snoop Dogg got lucky, bro. Dude,
Snoop
can you
Dogg-
imagine Snoop Dogg with fudgers, though?
I can't, and I don't want to. I don't want to imagine a world where Snoop Dogg has long, saggy breasts. I don't want to. I don't want to live in a world like that.
So,
All
Mike.
right, so anyways,
Mike, let
mean-
me ask you a question. Do you think everybody would just rather, because we're going to take pictures at the BDM beach party, and we could just, Daniel and Sam and me can just stand there and take pictures, and it doesn't have to be any camel
we don't have to
girl or
discuss
boy.
them up.
I mean, okay, so honestly, you guys don't really need it. I mean, we're all here to see you guys. I mean, there's probably a couple horny dudes who just are going to raise hell that we're not going to have a camel girl anymore. But
Couple.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all here to see you guys.
Raise hell.
You know that.
What does that mean? What are they gonna? They're gonna run or start shooting their
They're just
pistoleros in the air?
Type on Facebook how
I mean,
mad
you
they
guys
are.
are going to have a January 6th on the studio.
Oh my god.
They'll be mad. Okay,
There's going to be a buffalo hat guy there demanding a camel
Just don't
girl.
pull out my podium. Just leave all my stuff where it is.
Norm's going to be holding my desk and
Yeah.
walking in.
Exactly. My laptop ends up in some repair shop. Like, I've been looking for that.
Yeah, and I mean, other than that, dude, I think it's just it's an old school thing that you guys can bring up, and you could honestly put anybody in that camel mask, and it would just be a holdover from just your old days.
I think it's time
All
to.
right.
I think maybe it's time to get rid of it, though. I mean, if we're having
What
this,
if we have Brendan O'Connor dressed as a merman?
okay,
That would be awesome.
that would be pretty awesome. I don't know if he's
Oh, have
confirmed.
him wear his like Lady Wharf drag costume in
yeah.
the middle of the summer.
Too hot.
Yeah, too hot. We want to make him comfortable. We want to chase him off. We also don't like he's doing good where he is.
Well, I mean,
almost-
you just gave him COVID.
I don't know if we did.
No.
Don't hold on a second.
Don't
Don't be
say that.
spreading.
He doesn't
that.
even know that yet.
Yeah, he doesn't know that yet because we didn't think about it.
No.
He's
He's
fine.
fine.
Yeah, he's good. He's tough as nails.
Daniel doesn't even have it.
Yeah, I don't
Melissa
have it.
sat next to me, breathed in my face the whole show.
Yeah, I don't have it. It's funny too, though. I did make that. Like, you would look at the listener that came in here on Friday. They gave you COVID. That guy does not look like he's ever had COVID. He looks like a math teacher He looks like a math teacher at a high school. Like a good-looking, presentable.
Wait, Daniel, who looks like
math
they should get
teachers?
COVID?
He looked like my old math teacher, Mr. Doran, is why I said that. He looks just like him. A lot of my references are personal, Mike, okay?
Mike, what are you up to today? Is there a day off?
I mean, it's my day off. I'm just cutting up clips for Oh No. I'm hanging out, playing with dinosaurs. I'm living the best life.
Wait a minute, is that a shot at me and Tom? That's mean. That is very, very mean. You're
What do
a
you mean?
dinosaur.
I'm playing Ark. I'm like taming and rearing husbandry dinosaurs.
Oh, they're trying to get me to play that game, Tom. All the BDMs, they have a server for Ark.
What is that?
It's a dinosaur survival game where you run around naked in the woods as a little digital man. You build a hut, and you have to hide and capture dinosaurs and train them and make them mate.
Oh my
Bro,
God.
I have 12 T-Rexes right now in a cave.
The BDMs
where I
have their own
live.
server. They try to get me on it. They play every night until 3, 4 in the morning.
I
Hold
played
on.
till 3 in the morning last night.
Told you.
So you breed dinosaurs, and then what do you do?
Well, I mean, there are objectives. Like you got to go beat bosses and stuff. So you got to breed the dinosaurs so that you have good dinosaurs to go fight the bosses.
You don't understand fun, so you're not going to get this. You're just not going to get it.
Yeah, I realized I should have said that in a less fun way. Maybe Tom would have gotten it.
You should see the chat room is lighting up right now, Tom, with people that are like, Dan, you should play it. I play it. Everybody, the BDMs, they have this own little dino world where they go and they run around. They have a village, right? Mike, am I lying to Tom?
No, you're 100% on. Guess what, Tom? In Dino World, I don't have to pay my electric bill. In Dino World, I don't have to deal with my wife when she's upset with me because the dinosaurs are never upset with me.
See, there you go. Although if you don't pay your real electric bill, you won't have video games. So there's that.
That's true. I have to pay that one bill so
Yeah.
I can keep my real virtual reality happy world.
That's the most important one.
In Dino World, do you have big ass T's?
Rex.
Oh my god.
No, dude, in Dino World, I'm like shredded. Like 8-pack.
Of course.
Super buff.
You know, if you had to look like your own avatar in every video game, no man would play video games.
I would stop playing
Right?
video games.
Because, like, even my character on the show, like, I made him, and he's 5'5", because remember, we determined that that's as low as you can go before video game developers figure that men are no longer men. They're like, well, if you're at 5'2", you're a creature person. Who cares? So my guy,
God.
my man in the show, I play for right now, I play for the Pittsburgh Pirates, which sucks. I don't want to play for him. I want to be traded. But he looks just like me, and he's 5'5". And every time I get to the plate, Boog Chomby, who is the announcer, he says, "Here comes Dan Dennis. You know, he's not very big, but here's a man with light tower power." That's what he says, light tower power. He calls me the light tower power.
You're the light tower. Oh,
Yeah, I'm a tiny tower. Get out of here, Mike B. I'm hanging up on you.
All right.
I love you
See ya,
guys.
Mike.
All right.
Have a great day.
We love you too. Bye. This Zoom thing's as good as I remembered.
It you know, it's one of those things that you get used to doing something a certain way, and it's hard to change. Right?
Yeah, it is. It really is. But let's power through because I got a good one here. Remember when we were talking about how I have my mom's dog, Maggie the dog, and she's like a really good dog. Like I have made her into a really good dog. And it's difficult for me to sort of talk about this, but a lot of the things I figured out, if I'm just being honest, a lot of the things that my mom was doing with the dog were a form of abuse and Munchausen syndrome where she would like think the dog has to eat a certain thing, think the dog needs like my mom at one point, man, I hope I don't get people get mad at me for saying this. At one point, my mom had Maggie on like medicine for her heart, and I don't think she needed it. Like it didn't. It's
Hold on, what do you mean?
Like-
a
Well, did the vet
heartworm?
tell her?
yeah. The
that
vet
she
was
needed it?
like the vet even in the note we had some notes that like I found all my mom's like records, and I read in the notes it even said like I think we can take her off like X medication, but she was still on it. You know, like I think that there was like a kindredship. Like, hey, if I'm feeling bad, well, Maggie's feels bad, and if I'm not eating, then Maggie's. You know, like I feel like there was it's like a best friends kind of a thing there. But we did get
All right.
we did get a voicemail about it. Here we go.
You guys were talking about the Munchausen dog with the old ladies. That's for real. Most definitely.
Aw.
My mom's old dog used to only eat, per her, chicken and eggs. So the dog never ate any of the food that she'd buy, the dog food. So she'd feed him chicken and eggs. Well, dog had an allergy to it. then her keep feeding it people food, the dog got diabetes. And then the dog in diabetes had to give him insulin shots every day. But the insulin shots made the dog go blind. So the dog has to take insulin shots every day, plus the dog is blind. Then it can't stand up, but she's got to take care of him, won't let him die. And so she like created this whole thing. Another thing, my aunt, her sister, their dog got hit by a car.
Oh, God.
Real awful. Took it to an emergency vet, spent $10,000 to get the dog not to die. On the way home from the vet, the dog died in the car. So they won $10,000.
Oh my God.
Then he can't figure out how to hang up his phone. That's the best part of the call. It takes him like a solid minute to hang up his phone.
But
Yeah.
do you get a refund if the dog dies on the way out of the vet?
No refund. I mean, it's correct. Here's the thing. I feel horrible for these people that do this because they do it because they love these animals so much. They're their family, and they'll spend any amount of money they can to help their loved ones, right? But at a certain point, it's, you got a 13-pound dog, and then it's 12 and a half years old, and it got ran over by a car. It's like you have to let it go. You can't spend $20,000 in surgery because what kind of life is it going to have? Like I remember there was a dog. I'm not going to say who had it because I don't want to make them feel bad.
Yeah.
But I saw this small dog that literally turned into what looked like a possum.
I'm sorry.
Like,
why would we talk
all
about this? Do I just barf laugh? Like, I can't control it. I'll just sit there and I'll just start. It's because it makes me uncomfortable, I think.
And it was, I'm not joking, it was like 16 years old or something
Maggie
like
is
that.
16. Maggie's 16.
Yeah, it was like 16 or 17 years old, and it lost its eyesight. Its eyes were white. Its hair fell out. It looked like a possum because all the hair on its tail fell off.
Yeah.
And it couldn't walk anymore, but
They
it was
get
just being kept.
little dogs that get the shaky back legs where their back legs bounce like a 6'4"
Yeah.
Impala. They bounce like an old 6'4" Impala.
And it was still alive. And I remember seeing this thing, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like it like, I mean, it wasn't, I guess, I'm not in pain or whatever, but it was just so old. And at a certain point, you're like, why are you keeping it alive? Why?
Yeah. Well, like Maggie,
You can't kill it, I guess.
These were little things. It would be like Maggie only eats this cheese. Maggie doesn't eat this. She'll only eat turkey for snack. Maggie doesn't like milk bones. God, you can't give her a milk bone. She's slapping out of my hand. What are you doing? Like, bah! You're like, what? God damn it, don't give it to her. She's allergic to milk bones. Are you crazy? And none of that was true. She likes milk bones. She eats them like, I almost cursed. She eats them like blanket Tic Tacs. Like that. She doesn't eat cheese now because we got her off of that. The cheese, newsflash, was giving her explosive spray diarrhea because dogs are not supposed to eat an entire block of Kraft Cracker Barrel brand cheese. My mom was convinced that Maggie only ate Kraft Cracker Barrel. The Kraft Cracker Barrel is their upscale brand, right? There's Kraft cheese and then there's Kraft Cracker Barrel, not related to the breakfast place. My mom was convinced that she only ate Kraft Cracker Barrel cheese to the point where if I bought Sargento cheese, she'd be like, oh, you got to go back. I'd be like, why do I got to go back? She'll only eat Cracker Barrel. She knows the Kraft Cracker Barrel. I'm like, Mom, this dog does not know that. She knows the packaging. She saw it when you took it out of the bag.
She knows the packaging.
She saw it when you took it out of the bag. Like, they would be these type of conversations, And I think a lot of people could relate to this. We all know. And you try to be kind. You're like, okay, yes. And you know what? I just get in the car and take it back and just go get the Kraft Cracker Barrel and come in. And she's like, see, I told you. See? She's very stuck in her ways. And I'd be like, okay. All right. Okay.
I think we have to talk to my mom because she has.
Does she do this? Can we?
She does it with Bitey.
Bitey.
I mean, who knows what she feeds that dog, and then what, what
cheese
kind
puffs and Sunkiss.
Yeah. I mean,
like my mom, when we kept Maggie, she'd drop her off, and then it would be like Maggie, and then like a little cooler, like a little a zipper cooler, like those Chinese coolers we sold, the little zipper coolers.
Yeah.
And like a lunch bag. And inside the lunch bag would be little bags of like boar's head turkey, Kraft Cracker Barrel cheese, like Triscuits. Like this dog ate like wine and cheese. Like what it ate.
It's a little lunchable for the dog.
And then my mom was convinced. She'd be like, she has IBS just like me. All diarrhea all the time. And I'd be like, well, maybe we should get her off the cheese and Triscuits and the turkey and get her on like, I don't know, Purina One or some goddamn dog food and see. And you know what? I hate to admit it, but I was right on this one. The old dog food did the trick. Stopped up that diarrhea good.
So you're saying dogs shouldn't eat Triscuits and Cracker Barrel
cheese. And my mom was buying a pound of boar's head oven gold turkey, which is like $9.
Yeah. That's what you eat.
Yeah, that's what I eat. I'm a little dog though. And also, she would get the Cracker Barrel cheese, the 2-for, and and believe it or not, the dog had a preference of cheese. Monterey Jack. Monterey Jack. It's crazy. All right, let's get another voicemail. Let's try. We did Munchausen dogs. Let's try this one. This is for Tom.
Hey, Tom and Dan. Well, Tom, you know me from whenever you were supposed to ride a bull as Drunky the Bear at the bull riding event at the PBR in Orlando, and I showed up to ride the bull for you. Fortunately, they didn't let me get on it, and they put you on something that didn't even move out of the bucking chute. Just laughed about it. But hey,
I like that he pointed out that he laughed about it. Like right in your face. Like I think this is a pivotal moment in the voicemail.
Didn't even move out of the bucking chute. Just laughed about it. But hey, the watermelon thing, if you guys want to know about it, I know all about it. It's in South Florida. All my family grows it. I mean, it's the first thing we do in farming. And to go with your pool idea, be honest with you, Tom, I've been doing pools for about 30 years. I started doing leak detection 20 years ago, and we don't even get in the pool anymore, bro. You just let the water level drop to a certain level. That tells you exactly where the leak is, and you patch it up. We don't even use dyes anymore. Hope that helps you out, or call me back, 689.
Oh, well, he's going to give his number. So they just let it leak out till it stops, and then they're like, there's your leak?
Yeah, well, that's not fun. My whole fantasy was get in the pool with the scuba diving equipment and put the dye.
Doesn't that waste a ton of water?
What, letting the water just leak out?
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be better to get in there and try and save a couple thousand gallons?
Yeah, well, it's probably not that much, and most leaks are right around the return anyway.
I don't think you have any idea what you're talking about.
No, I know. Hold on, I've had a pool for 15 plus years.
How many leaks have you found?
Oh, all the leaks. I used to have a vinyl liner pool in Deltona. Daniel saw it. Yep. Remember?
I did, with a snake that had been vinyled inside of it. It was a good feature. And then the snake died, and then you had the impression of a snake. Did it ever rot or was it still under there when you would poke it?
No, it disintegrated, and then it was just a permanent outline of the snake.
It was like somebody had put window tint over a hot dog. That's a perfect analogy.
People may not think that's possible or true, but that was 100% true.
Yeah, there was a snake that had been vinyl linered over in your pool, and you could see him. He did you could see the head, the snake body, and the little tail.
It's like that meme of the person that painted over the cockroach. Have you seen that?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
I like it when I like it when street, when they're putting the stripes on the street and they just paint over things. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah. It's pure laziness and don't care.
Yes.
Going back to this guy that called, I remember, because when he first was telling the story, I'm like, I have no recollection of this.
Oh, he's the bull rider, man. Now, I remember this one. Was this when you had to get the rodeo clown paint on your face?
That was a different time.
Okay.
Oh, sad.
That's what makes it sad. Is that there's multiple.
Yeah,
the fact that there's like, which bull riding stunt was it? Is like, oh.
That was, I think, years later.
Well, you got to give a buffer. You got to give a bull buffer in there.
So the I remember that was the one thing I do regret that I didn't get to do was ride an actual bull, um, because I was going to do it, and then last second the actual organization,
Oh, whoa.
it wasn't going to let me do it, but then that's why I remember getting a hold of this guy because he was going to ride the bull in the bear suit. At the end, basically at the end of the whole radio thing, I realized you could fake a lot of this stuff, and it would, who cares or whatever.
Right.
So I would just get guys like the BMX guy to do the backflip or whatever.
You would do like sound effects of stuff. I remember one where you like stole a boat. You did like sound effects, and you would do like airplane sound effects, train sound effects, just to kind of like make it a little easier on yourself.
Yeah, because I realized I'm not going to go and actually get on a train and ride it and then call in. I mean, it's ridiculous. Who cares if I actually do it? Well, I would do it if there's video.
It is illegal, though.
Have you ever hopped a train? Has anybody
Yeah.
here?
Me? Yeah.
I have too. Yeah,
For sure.
At Jeremy Shanley's house. It's one of the probably the more dangerous things that I've done, because I think that because I'm so open with my fear of flying, that it's just been like everybody's like, oh, he's been talking about it for like decades, and it's such an irrational fear that most people just assume that I'm afraid of everything that I come in contact with. Which is not the case. But that one was probably, when I think back on it, that's one of the only things I've ever done that gives me chills now to think back to it, because I'm like, that was really dumb. Like, that was like notoriously like gives me sweats right now thinking about Maisie doing that. I'm like, what are you doing? That is so dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know who ruined it for me? Your buddy Joe, the paramedic. He would tell the horror stories about the thousands of homeless people that sleep on the rail tracks and just get, I mean, it's all the time.
Well, you start to think like you running next to a train, like your pant leg or shoe gets caught up in someone in the wheel or whatever. Like, oh man, I mean,
you gotta wait till it slows down. You don't do it when it's going fast.
You run it. You run it when it's like just kind of tiptoeing through a town.
Yeah.
When it does the tiptoe, and then you jump. But still, I mean, like. That would
I was so excited for this week because we were supposed to do the Tom Van 15-mile-an-hour run.
Oh,
we're doing it next week.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're gonna do it.
You think your lungs will be good by then?
Yeah,
he hasn't even been huffing and puffing. The day I saw him that he got COVID, he was working.
He was cough crazy Monday.
He was cough crazy Monday. You're right.
Yeah,
and we joked that he had COVID.
Yeah, no, I know, and I did. It was COVID. But yeah, it was just a call. I feel 100% fine. We're gonna do it Wednesday, and Joe is gonna come film it. So we're gonna do it Facebook Live on the BDM Facebook page, and we'll put it out. But now that I had a couple days to research it, and it seems it's gonna be pretty difficult.
Well, I had a guy write me who's like, I run every day. I'm a runner. The best I can run is 11 miles an hour. Good luck. I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's undoable.
Well, 11 miles an hour maybe constantly, but I said to 3 Mississippis.
He wants to do a 3 Mississippi spurt.
Yeah.
Most of this time off has been used learning how to count to 3 Mississippis. That's my Jimmy Fallon joke of the week. Let's try this one, because you, sir, you said something in construction land. You put it out there, and I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of calls about this because you besmirched the good name of delicious Modelo beer.
Hey guys, calling you. I'm a plumber. You can probably hear the drywall truck unloading in the background, but you're talking about the construction Modelos, and I myself have an affinity for Modelo. I actually have 2 ice cold in my cooler right now, so when it hits about 3:45 when I start cleaning up, I open one and I have me a shaky hand Modelo. Take it easy, guys.
Oh my God, multiple emails about the Modelo beer. You didn't think people drank Modelo?
I don't know anyone that drinks Modelo.
I love Modelo. It's like if you want a Budweiser, but you don't want to be so basic, right? Because it's like a lager. I believe it's a lager. I very much enjoy, if I'm drinking a lager, all of the Latin beers are on the table for me. I'll give you my favorite. Pacifico is my favorite beer. if it's just a Mexican lager and if it's a beer that's got to have a lime in it, Pacifico all day. That's my jam.
Doesn't Modelo have the fancy
Gold
foil
Yeah.
on the top?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they don't need that.
Also,
And, their
Modelo-
customers will still drink it.
I think you're right, but I do like it. I like the gold.
Yeah, but they could save a lot of money on that gold foil and just take it off, and then I feel like they'll have the same amount of sales, 100%.
Yeah, you're probably right. Like Modelo, Dos Equis, Pacifico.
There it is.
Pacifico's another good one. El Presidente, that's another. All of these beers are like some of my favorites. Like I absolutely love them. We do have to. Oh, go ahead.
The guy mentioned he has a shaky hand, Modelo. You know what's ruined being an alcoholic is
families. Families have ruined it.
Well,
responsibilities.
I know it sucks having a wife and a kid that loves you and they don't want you to like mess up.
It's TikTok, because
it's hard to do a video when your hands are shaking.
I see these TikTok videos, and there's a couple of people that are like, just do this exclusively, talk about like recovery and being alcoholic.
Oh, you got in my algorithm. Don't dip your toe in my algorithm. It'll mess you up.
And then they show, and then there's a couple TikTok influencers that like that actually show the reality of like what they do in the morning as an alcoholic.
Oh, God.
And that is rough to watch. And then you like they wake up, they're shaking crazy, and then they're like pouring themselves shots of vodka, and they show like how many shots of vodka it takes.
But it calms them down, and I'm like, whoo, good thing for that vodka. Like, well, you'd have been in rough shape.
And then you're like, oh no, don't show me that.
Don't show me my future.
In a weird way, I would make the argument. It's no different than a woman who gets up, who looks a certain way, and then they put on all their makeup and do their hair a certain way, and then they go out there so they can present themselves as a professional. My alcohol is just my inside makeup.
And also, it's like, how did you? And I know it's an addiction, and like you get there gradually. But
yes,
when taking shots in the morning for a hand stop, you got to be like, "Whoa, what is happening here?" This is
well, you know what's
happening at that point.
Yeah. But people get. I mean, a lot of people get to the whole drinking in the morning to just get through the day, which is, I mean, that's too far. I mean, you have to.
Oh
do
man,
something
way to bring us down. I like the I just like the TikToks of the Dr. Meat who says all I should eat are pig balls and bull balls, and if I only eat that, I'll be surfing in Costa Rica just like him. We got to take a break. We'll take a quick one. Are we coming back?
I don't know I don't even know how much time has been.
Yeah, we've done 43, so I'm okay with coming back. Close it out. Let's do it.
Let's come back.
All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. The Cafe Da Vinci meetup happening on Friday is still going to happen. I unfortunately can't be there, but Sam's going to be there and Dan's going to be there.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
And everybody,
God, you sound like we're like secondhand people.
Yeah, you're like, no worries, guys. It's all taken care of. We have some really great replacements. Sam and Dan will be there.
I am not used to. Oh, now my headphones are too high. I'm freaking myself out. Hold on. I need. Like I'm so. It feels
stuck
like
in your ways. You're very stuck in your ways.
Well, it sounds like I'm not excited, but I usually scream and I'm more animated in the studio, and I feel like it's weirding me out sitting here in my office.
Well, it's harder to scream in there because we have so many soundproofing implements in here that like when I get really loud, it doesn't really increase that much. It doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't bounce around. That's what you're having problems with.
Yeah, and I'm doing the show with both headphones on because that's the only way I could do it this way.
Yeah.
And it's always loud in my headphones, so I can't talk as loud anyway.
Yeah.
I'm old man stuck in his way.
Yeah, it's fine. No, it's totally fine. Tom has COVID. Sam does not, but we're all three from, if you're just joining us, we're all three from, I'm at the studio, Sam's at her house, Tom's at his house. Oh, look at you drinking coffee. Look at that. I don't think I've ever seen you with a coffee mug.
What?
Didn't
Me?
you have a coffee mug? What was that?
No, that's just
It was just a big. It was a mega pint.
a mega pint.
It was
of
a mega
water.
pint. Sorry, I thought it was coffee. I was like, oh, look at this guy.
No.
You look good for somebody with COVID though, but Tom has no more symptoms. He just needs to test negative. So
I was thinking if me and Daniel were talking, if I test positive or if I test negative tomorrow, I may go in the studio and just do the Friday show with Daniel.
okay,
That's
fine.
And then Sam, you could do it remotely. It depends on, this morning I was still testing positive, but like I said,
What's the
no
period
symptoms.
now? Like 5 to 7 days. You're
Ew.
supposed to test
5.
positive.
It said 5. Yeah. So it's like now that I have no symptoms, I'm sure like a doctor would, but because I'm tested positive, it's still like,
Transferable. Yeah.
I don't want to leave until I test negative.
We got you. Let's jump back into voicemails. We were having fun and doing our best with those. So let's try with this one right here. Soggy chips.
Hello, Sam, Dan, and Tam. So, you guys lately have been talking a lot about food and soggy food, like the soggy chips at the pool or a soggy party sub. I wonder what your guys' take is on soggy versus stale. Would you rather have some humid, soggy Florida food, or would you rather have some the air dries it out so fast it becomes rock hard Florida food? Because both are bad, and I know both have been part of all of our lives because we're trash people. Thank you.
I mean, personally, I would rather have soggy over stale, but it depends on how soggy. I don't want wet.
Right, and it depends on the food that we're talking about.
My wife does not like a soggy sandwich. Like if she orders any Publix sub or whatever Wawa, she asks for all the oils and stuff on the side.
Yeah.
But I'll eat it soggy. Like
I know you will.
If a soggy doesn't
Tom
bother
likes
me.
it wet.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like I go back and forth. I used to be very much like your wife, where I would get I'd get pickles on the side, oil and vinegar on the side, everything on the side. But that became such a pain in the ass. And I also thought that while I was asking for that those people were wiping their genitals or spitting in my sandwich. Like if somebody asked me to put everything on the side, I would definitely sprinkle some hairs in your sandwich.
No, that's not a crazy request.
I think it's crazy
normal.
because then you got to make the sandwich, put the sandwich in the bag. Then you got to get out 5. You got to put squirt of mustard, squirt of mayonnaise, squirt of this. No, I'm not doing that. At that point, I'm not making a sandwich. You're making the sandwich. So you come here and I'll let you come behind the counter and make the sandwich. I'm not going to do it. I would say you can't do that. At Dan's Jersey Dan subs, I would say no.
Yeah. If they have to put it in separate containers, then you're getting the pubes. But if they just, it's like Publix, they'll just give you the packets, and that's nothing for them. That's less work than spreading or putting it on your sandwich. Actually, just throw some packets in the sub bag. It's fine.
The chat room chiming in with Jersey Dan's only serves minis, and I will approve that joke. That's funny. I will approve that joke. That's very funny. This also brings up the conundrum that I have in my brain about mayonnaise in the package. It's hot. It's out there all day long for years. It's totally fine. The minute you open it, it's got to be refrigerated. I hate that. Right?
Also, okay, because I've always been
And is
told,
mayonnaise white or yellow? It's yellow, right? It's got a little cream color to it.
Yeah. It's a little yellowish. It's kind of like
Well, Miracle Whip has little specks
beige.
of paprika in it. Every once in a while, every inch, you'll see a red dot. That's paprika.
So I've eaten like a sub, like say a Publix sub that has been sitting in a car for probably too long. Right?
Whose car?
It was actually,
Whose
it
car?
was actually hot. It was like someone warmed it. And then
Was
my
it
wife,
supposed to be a hot sub, like a cheesesteak or a meatball?
No, it was like Italian. It was cold. But anyway, my wife's always told me, she's like, don't leave that sub out. The mayonnaise will go bad. You'll get sick or whatever.
I don't think that's a thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like it would maybe if you left it out for 3 days, I wouldn't eat it. But like if you go to the beach and don't have your sub refrigerated, like when I was younger, I remember bringing subs to like when I was a kid.
No,
to
we didn't.
places,
You were
and
rich.
we didn't
then.
refrigerate anything.
You were rich then because every time I was on the boat, it was, and I only grew up with Nature Valley brown bread. That's the only bread I ever had, Nature Valley brown, until my mother passed away. Just like what,
You
3
mean
years
Nature's
ago?
Own.
Or Nature's Own. Thank you, Sam. Nature's Own. Nature's Own brown bread, bologna, maybe some turkey, dry as hell in a Ziploc bag, no subs. That's it. Like nothing in a cooler. Chips and sandwiches in a brown paper Winn-Dixie bag.
Yeah.
That's it.
You didn't have to.
No cooler.
Like, I feel like if you left your sandwich out for most of the day, even in the sun, you could still eat it fine, right?
I think so. Yeah. I'm like, what if we should do the test? We should make a Duke's mayonnaise turkey sub and put it out in the morning and put it out here. And let it bake in the sun all day, and then at 3 p.m., bring it in, cut it in half, and we each eat a piece and be like, all right, putting it to the test. I don't think anything will happen to you.
Yeah, because it's not going to, like, it takes time for whatever bacteria to form, right? It's not like just because it got hot doesn't mean it's instantly got bacteria, right? It'll take like a couple days for mold and stuff.
Well,
right?
the bacteria that would get you sick would have to be there. It's possible that bacteria is not present, is it not? It doesn't just magically form. I think our wives, like my wife and your wife, I think I'll leave Sam out of this because that's only fair. I think that our wives think that when you leave something out for like 35 seconds that the mayonnaise gets and then it becomes like poison.
Deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's another Munchausen's thing that all of our mothers taught us.
It is.
Yeah. Like, don't eat that. That's mayonnaise in it. It's been out of, at the.
But they secretly they wanted us to eat it so they could baby us. Like, oh he's sick, he's got AIDS. So you put him in the bed, you like in the Munchausens, right? Because you like
feed him the cheese.
Yeah, you can like taking care of him.
He needs the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, so you give them the ailments. You're secretly hoping that your son or daughter eats their sandwich about an hour too late, so they get diarrhea, so they have to stay home, so you can baby them and they can't leave you. That's what I think.
I think that's what it is.
Let's try this one right here.
Hey, Tom, Dan, and Sam. I was just listening to like the older like best of ACT like a couple weeks ago, and you were talking about like leaving your kids at home, at whatever age. And I have my daughter will be 6 next month, but she is very much like Dan's Maisie. Like she is very independent. Like she wakes up in the morning, makes her own breakfast. On the weekends, lets mom and dad sleep in. I mean, I have 2 big dogs, and she feeds the dogs, and she lets the dogs out, and she knows not to answer the door, and she's just very independent. Just kind of, I'll say stuff to her, and she'll be like, "No, Papa," and kind of puts me in my place, which is a little demeaning. But
yeah, it's definitely what I got. Like May has a TV in her room now. I haven't seen her all week.
How old did he say she was?
His
6.
daughter? She's 6. His audio was kind of cutting in and out.
Yeah, I mean, think about how.
I also like that his daughter calls him Papa. It's very Stranger Things.
Yeah, I like that
Stranger
too.
Things. I want my son to call me Papa.
Papa? Papa?
No, but
like
no,
Papa John. You look like Papa John. You have the same red face. You have the same hair. Propensity for the N-word on when we're on calls. It's tough to get
drunk.
It's tough to get you to not say it. You also have tried 40 pizzas in 2 weeks. That was a claim to fame you had a couple of weeks ago. I think you said that to me.
Drunk at a Broncos game.
Sounds about right.
What happened to that guy?
But I think think about how 100 or 200 years ago, like 5-year-old kids, like once you could walk around and talk and communicate, like you're basically a little adult and like you're on your own. You're doing work around whatever the hell the house. Like think about kids that live on farms and stuff and how tough they are. Remember that kid that we saw, Daniel,
on the 4-wheeling trip? He
side by side.
Sam, he drove up in a side by side in the back of it, and you'll back me up, on the back of his, and because he needed it, he had all of his gear. He had a rifle on the back of it. He had all of his stuff because he was a working kid. And then he made sure that we were checking in. He got on his 4-wheeler, had a gun on the back, and he took off.
Yeah,
It was
he
awesome.
like
I'm
seven,
like, yeah, it was
like 7 or 8. Like that kid could not only stay at home, he could
run a
live
farm
in the forest.
Like he came up, he's like, "You guys already been taken care of?" We're like, "Yeah, we're good." He's like, "All right, have a good day. Enjoy four-wheeler. Enjoy Colorado. All right." It was awesome.
Yeah.
People have been spying on our ART&D. This man has been.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Tom, Dan, Sam. This is a relatively new BDM Dusty here.
Thanks for
I
joining.
was just going to a customer's home in Sanford, and it was right near the AirT&D, and saw a specific American-made truck towing a trailer with no lights working and no license plate, and just thought to myself, hey, maybe that's Tom heading to the AirT&D because he's bad at life.
Just like me.
All right. Sucking fat titties. Bye.
Oh. Damn, I don't have to edit that one. 12:35, Sam.
Do people think I drive around with no license plate?
Yes. That's why I flagged this. But this is the okay. Now it's gone. It's getting worse. It used to be you're just like me. Now it's I think I saw a bum. It's got to be Tom.
It was near the AirT&D. It's got to be Tom.
Yeah, it's I saw a bad person near the AirT&D. It's got to be Tom.
Saw a homeless man. Is that Tom?
It's not fair. It's
I
not
saw
fair.
a man eating a hot sandwich.
This is your being short. You know that, right? Like this is the reason people can relate to the two of us is that we are both bullied incessantly. Mine not so much now. I'm going through a bit of a peak. Like I'm not in a valley. You're in a valley right now where people are like, "Oh my God, look at this homeless. How does he put his shoes on?" This guy. And that's just not true. People think you are the dumbest human on the planet, and it's just not true. And people think
They think you wear flip-flops because you don't know how to put your shoes on.
Correct.
Yeah, but it's a little true. That's what makes it funny.
It's also like when people go, "Well, you're not that short," and I go, "Yeah, kind of am."
Yeah, that's subjective, right?
Yeah, like I think you want me to blow your mind for a second. I believe that there are people that consider themselves little people that have like I'm all proportionate, but there are people that consider themselves little people that have joined the organization and go to like the meetups who are taller than me.
Or like identify as little people?
Yeah, like I think there are little people that they're like
No.
Yes. They're big. They're big littles. There are big littles out there.
Because you could just be a short. Okay, hold on. How do I phrase this?
It's the body geometry. You can say body geometry.
Yeah, but also it's a genetic trait to like dwarfism is a genetic trait.
You can't say dwarfism, can you?
No, I think that's what.
No, you said
like physically you cannot say.
You said dwarfism, like a drawer, like I'm pulling out a drawer. My dad used to do that. You're becoming my dad. This is the other thing I've been talking about.
I thought you can't say. I thought you meant I can't say it because it was offensive.
No, you can say that. But my dad used to say it all the time. He'd go, "Look at that goddamn dwarf." He couldn't say it. No, he'd say dwarf. And the irony of him making fun of short people is pretty funny.
So anyway, you can't like nobody. Okay. Remember, you know what? This brings up this topic. Did you see the Jerry Jones got in trouble because he said the M word?
Yes, I was hoping we'd segue. He said the M word for little people. Yes, he did.
And he was talking about some guy that he was actually doing some sort of eulogy or like
it was
what?
Yeah.
Go look it up, Sam. You'll love it.
He was doing he was doing a eulogy for a guy that used to work with him or whatever on the Cowboys, and he passed away, and apparently he was short, and he was like just during the storytelling of this guy's life, he said something. He's like, "Get that," and then he said the M word over on the stage or whatever. Like, so he was talking about how he used to make jokes with him or about him.
Yeah, he said the 79-year-old Jones was speaking about the Cowboys' former director of scouting, Larry Lacewell, who died in May at 85. Quote, I'm going to get somebody, a midget, to stand up there with me and dress him up like Lace, Jones said to reporters. As he spoke, Jones held his hand up to his shoulder to give reporters the idea of Lacewell's height and then chuckled a bit at the image he had created for his audience. So that's what he said.
Yeah, so then he had to issue an apology. He's like, I didn't know. I could not say that.
Of course I didn't. I still salt my Egg McMuffins. People that salt
How
Egg
old is that guy?
McMuffins say the M word for little people.
He's in his late 70s, I think, Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
But like, of course, he's like, I don't know why anybody is like, yeah, of course, Jerry Jones said that.
Yeah, not news.
But anyway, so then this is my point. So then the national, I think it was National Association for Little People, something like that, like issued a statement or whatever saying, you shouldn't use the word, but like explaining. My question is, do you have to have dwarfism to be in the National Association for Little People, or can you just be a little person?
You could join as an ally, I bet, right? Because they need the money.
But it would be like you're not an
Stolen
actual
valor.
little person.
Well, it would
You're
only be
just-
stolen valor if you like got on your knees and started begging for money or.
Well, that's a good question because even the term little person is so generic that as like and that's subjective too. Like Daniel is a little person compared to Shaquille
See, I
O'Neal.
hate that. I hate little person because people will say like, well, you're a little person. I'll be like, excuse me, I am not a little person. It'd be easier if they just use the M word. And then I'd be like, of course I'm not that. You're that, like it's because it's a thing, like it was easier before. It really was. I'm not saying this to make anybody mad. I'm just saying it was easier before because I've had people before say, well, you're a little person. And I'll be like, what do you mean by that? You know what I mean? Like I got to pause and be like, well, hold on. Do you mean like I'm a little person or do you mean I'm a little person?
Yeah, because you're
So
not
It's Little People of America, and it says membership is available to individuals with a medical diagnosis of dwarfism or form of short stature, as well as their families, grandparents, relatives, and all medical professionals.
Wait a minute. This is like he just retired, tight end. Gronk. Remember how Gronk's always on the military ads where he's like, hey, can I get an account? And they're like, no, it's only for the military, you idiot. Can I do that? Can I get an account with the Little People of America? Am I Little People Gronk?
Well, you don't have dwarfism, but
No,
the
I don't.
second part. But the second part of that, it said, or what is it, of short stature?
Yeah, it says, or form of short stature.
Oh, I'm getting one. I'm going to get the handicap
You can do
placard.
it.
I'm going to get all of it. I'm going to be zipping around Orlando in my Tesla, all the handicap spots.
Yeah, but what does that mean? I bet there's something you have to be under 5 feet. I remember Daniel
Oh, I
used
can
to
see
say, like,
Sam's tippy typing fast. She's going to get me a placard. Give me a placard, Sam.
you probably have to be under a certain height.
It says, Little People of America defines dwarfism as a medical or genetic condition that usually results in an adult height of 4'10" or shorter among both men and women.
Damn it.
Although in some cases, a person with dwarfing condition may be slightly taller than
Slightly
that.
taller. That's me.
There we go.
But I don't
What's the
have it. Are they going to make me do a blood test? Or is it like...
Sam, look up the tallest dwarf.
The silence there was just, mwah. Man, I loved it because I was like, I don't know what to say here.
I was gonna make 10,000 jokes about Daniel, but it was just stopped.
I wrestled dwarf downtown Orlando.
Yeah.
That was my Drunkie the Bear.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that was my Drunkie. So that's why I think maybe
this is weird.
that's why I like when people are like really giving you the goods. Sometimes I get a little sad because I know what it feels
So
like.
there was a man named Adam Rayner who was born a dwarf and then died a giant.
Whoa. Do they mean in heart? Did he was he just do they mean like he died a giant?
No. It says he was born in Austria to average sized parents in 1899.
I don't trust anything in the 1800s because then it's just witchcraft at that point, right? And like supernatural.
Yeah, they have no idea.
And they're like, we don't know what it is. He's a monster. Kill
Although
him.
he was 4'6" when he tried to join the army.
Get out of here, shorty.
At 19, he was considered a dwarf.
And he's like, you'll see.
But
I'll get big and
His
I'll die a
hands-
giant.
His hands and feet were abnormally large. And he wore size 10 shoe.
Wait, at 4'6", he wore a size
Yeah.
10 shoe? Oh my God, he was a little clown.
3 years later, his feet doubled in size.
Oh my God, this man's poor
He
body.
he was a late bloomer. He literally went from 4'10" at like 19, and then he went to a shocking 7'1". But he did develop a severe spinal curvature.
Oh yeah, because it's fast. As it hurts. It's like when girls get big, ginormous breast implants and they're flat chested. You get those lines on the side. It looks like somebody put too much air in the float.
Well, he probably had some sort of when you get gigantism.
Yeah, he had a tumor. Yeah, he had a tumor in his pituitary gland.
Oh,
and then it was just giving him growth hormone like crazy. So like he grew, which is nuts. That
they wanted to give me. That's my mom said no, but they wanted to give me growth shots.
Should have done it.
I know. I say that all the time. I mean, I could have lived a normal life. You want to do another voicemail message? Okay, we did the Air T&D one. Go ahead.
What's weird is that when I make jokes, it seems meaner when I'm sitting in front of my computer. Right?
The distance does make it more mean. You're right.
When I'm next to you, like
when you're at your house, I'm gonna drive over there and throw stuff at your windows.
Like every joke I made, I was like, I should have said that. Why were you so mean?
You're like an internet troll now.
Yeah, you really are.
Yeah. When you're sitting next to me, it seems less mean. I don't know. Weird.
Little people and trolls. All right, let's try this one.
What's going on, T&D Media? It's Concrete Mike. Hey, I got us a new listener today. I'm out here on my job site in South Winter Garden, and the Bugman rolled up and had some news junkie playing. And so I was questioning what else he listens to. And he says, well, I used to listen to the Monsters, blah, 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 back when Daniel and Drunky and Dean was there. He said, but I haven't listened to him in years. And then I questioned him, so did you realize that Tom and Dan went out and did their own thing and have their own show? He did not. I don't know how, but he did not know this. And I showed him how to use the app. He's going to download the app and start downloading shows, and told him you can sign up to be a BDM and get extra content and stuff, and he's all in. So Bugman's on board with us now.
There you go.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you, Concrete Mike, for
because
yeah,
you guys have been on the News Junkie before.
Yeah.
Well, also we're on the station tonight.
Right. They must not
went-
advertise for us.
we
don't. I don't want to make Jack mad, but we don't get a lot of. Well, we don't do any of the contests because it's too hard and we're not on site. You know, we're more of like a brokered show or like a what do you call them? A syndicated program than we would be like a local program. Even though I know we know everybody there, we've worked there for years, but there is some disconnect there that for no other reason other than probably just the way things unfolded and how things are.
Yeah, but the guy was he was listening to the News Junkie, so he obviously listens to 104.1, and he never had caught us at night at any of those times. Like, you just leave your radio on, you jump in to go get a 12-pack at 7-Eleven, and it's still on 104.1, and then he's like, oh, who are these guys? Oh, it's Tom and Dan. Like,
well, a lot of people are dedicated. Like, you listen to the News Junkie, and then as soon as they're off, you could go into Jim Colbert, whatever, or you could just go over to music. Like a lot of people, they're like, they find their show, and then like that's mine, and then afterwards I do jazz or I do hip hop or.
And I don't mean Concrete Mike is the nicest man in the world.
He's doing the Lord's work, man. Thank you for doing that, Mike.
But I don't mean to disappoint him, but I bet you, and I do this, that this guy didn't start listening, because I've had people tell me about about podcasts they listen to or shows or like even like shows on Netflix or whatever, and then when they go back and ask me the next time I see him, like, oh, did you check out that show or whatever, and I always just say, oh yeah, to not disappoint them. I'm like, oh yeah, I checked it out, it was good. And then he's like, oh, and they always like, cool. I'm like, yeah, I'll start checking that out more. And then they think, but I never checked it out. I never.
Wow, you're a bad person.
Why is that bad? I'm trying to make the person happy. How they get?
But you're lying.
Yeah, but they are happy that
it's a happy lie.
They gave me a recommendation. I checked it out, and then they feel good about it. If I said no, I didn't check it out, and then just kept saying no every time, then they would be sad and also think like, why aren't they listening to my recommendations? Like I'm Sam. I'm just here to make people happy.
I like that.
How is that being a bad person?
I think that's good.
I want to make everybody happy. If you feed me something and I eat it, I think it's disgusting. I'm going to tell you it's good. If you ask me like how was this massage, I'm going to say good.
Okay.
Whatever.
Even if it's bad, why'd you go food and massage? My God.
If you're like, what do you think of my podcast? I'm going to say it's good. I'm just going to tell you what makes you happy.
See, I never give them an answer, but if people go like, hey, did you listen to my podcast? I will say, no, I haven't had time yet, man, but I'll check it out. Even if I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not
That's
going
the
to.
move.
I usually give them the, like, I'll check it out. Or
Give them false hope.
If somebody sends me an email of like, hey, here's a song I wrote, I'll be like, hey, man, if I get some time, I'll check this out. I always say, if I get some time, I'll check it out. And then I delete the email immediately.
If I actually told the truth, that's what makes me a bad person.
When do you tell the truth?
Yeah, you'll never know. That's the fun of it. And then one day he'll do Freaky Fridays where he's like, all of the truths I've been telling have been lies, and all of the lies, truths.
Let's try to figure that out.
Yeah, let's try this one.
Just wanted to weigh in on the EJ versus Canadian Josh. Couple things. I hate EJ as much as the next guy. He gets stuff wrong all the time. But I will say, at least he's talking about nerd stuff and sports stuff, which I feel like most BDMs are into. What is this fat POS Josh talking about that any of us are into? Canada? Who gives a flying fuck? No one cares. No one cares about little cheese. No one cares about his EMT job in the middle of fucking nowhere. No one cares about him at all. So, even though I hate EJ, fuck you, Canadian Josh.
Man, I don't know how that one snuck in the ACT pile, but 28-26, Sam. Wow. A lot of people have been weighing in on the EJ versus Canadian Josh. We are the only show in the history of radio that we're trying to get the most hated characters of all time on our program. We don't look for the people that are easy for you guys to like. You know, it'd be too easy for us to get a Brendan O'Connor in here for everybody to say like, oh my God, look how good this guy. No, we get the guys in here that you love to hate.
I feel like he's only saying that because Josh likes to call in and bully EJ. And
EJ's not a bully.
People feel, well, he's not, but he can be bullied very well because of his high school or college football days.
True.
I almost called him Al Bundy.
He's Orlando's Al Bundy. He's a little Bundy-like, right?
Yeah. Well, he still wears the UM jersey and the UM
the
polo
ring.
and the ring, and then I mean that's 4 touchdowns in a single game, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like and it never goes away.
Does it? I mean, is he gonna wear it when he's 80?
Oh yeah. He'll never make it. He'll never make it to 80. Number one. That's crazy. 80. Good Lord. We got to save his life. We got to help EJ. I feel like we got to get him. No, we got to get him in a health program, and we got to get a brand new haircut. The Twitch chat room, every time they see EJ, that when he calls in for Nerd Jock, they want to do a makeover. They want to do wear this, not that kind of a thing. We need to. I feel like we need to get him a haircut.
He got one haircut one time that wasn't the bowl. I remember, like, oh, that looks good, but but that's the problem when
he gets the Floby now. You can tell it's like he gets the who's the guy that owns
bangs.
Who's the guy that owns the Washington? That's not the Washington Redskins, or excuse me, the Washington Commanders. Who's the guy with the bad haircut in football?
No. We're Davis.
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis. That's what EJ sort of has now. He has except his head is too Charlie Brown round. Davis has a cone head, so his looks like you laid almost like a crown of hair around the top of an egg.
EJ did let it grow out, and he had like a Superman swoop-de-doo.
Well, he had to because he had that unicorn horn. He had that sebaceous cyst that was growing out of his skull. And he had to have that removed, so he was growing a hair curtain to cover his uniskull horn.
okay, I could speak to this because I have direct experience from having a horrible haircut
Yeah,
to
bad.
now having a
Great.
decent haircut.
You have a great cut now.
Is when you have a horrible haircut, right? It like people they tell you it's hard, like you don't care how you look, right? Obviously, that's the first step is that you don't care how you look, right? The Mark Davis, any person that has a horrible haircut, they obviously don't care, right? EJ too.
Yeah.
And you justify that by saying, who cares? I'm married, I got kids, I'm not out there trying to pick up any women.
Yeah, but
don't you want to look good for your spouse?
Yeah, or how about looking
No,
good, even if you don't
you
look
don't
good for your
care.
spouse because that ship has sailed and you don't care, and now
Yeah,
she
yeah.
plays this nurturing role of a mama, and you've fallen into that, and she doesn't even sexually attract you anymore because she's been too much of a mama, and that's what you see her as now. You are locked in. She looks like nothing more than a village caretaker to you, and there's literally no lust there. You at least owe it to your Twitch viewers to go and get a goddamn good haircut, so when you're presenting bad sports, you look okay.
So then you justify it also, speaking of Twitch viewers, because EJ, there's people that see him. Obviously, he's on our show and whatever. So then you justify it by like, this is part of my goofus personality.
No,
where
that's a
people-
lazy way to laze it away.
Okay, yeah. Because that goes back to you don't care and you're lazy and you don't want to present yourself because you're too lazy. So you're like, you convince yourself, oh, this stupid haircut is part of my goofus personality, and that
like I
plays
need
into
this
it. So-
because people expect it. See, they expect this goofus. No, they don't.
yeah,
They
yeah,
want
yeah.
you. They
And-
want you to look good. They want you to have confidence.
But when you finally go get a quality haircut, like I did that one time at Liberty with John, and then after you're like, okay, like
Okay.
this looks good, like, and then, but then you have to wake up every single morning and style it and put product in and like, comb it,
Yeah.
which is hard to get through for goofuses like me and EJ. But once you make it a routine every day, then you'll never go back. And then you look at pictures of yourself and on Twitch of you with the worst stooge you've ever seen, and then you start getting mad that you let yourself look like that for so long.
I think that's pretty accurate. That's pretty damn.
When I see pictures of myself with that stooge, that's the only thing I'm like, why did I mean, you look ridiculous.
But EJ won't let us get him a haircut. He won't.
Well, but now you have to pay, though. That's the thing. Like,
He
get
ain't gonna
quality.
pay. He ain't gonna pay.
I used to go to the cheapest places to cut my hair, and they couldn't figure it out. They were just like, they just kept cutting into
We
the
don't know
stooge.
what to do with it. It's
No,
stronger
seriously,
than we are.
You remember, like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
like,
remember
Crystal-
the other lady I went to, she was like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm confused. I need a break. She walked outside. She's smoking a cigarette.
remember, yeah, because you didn't believe me. Like, my wife didn't believe me. Remember, you finally took
I
me to your other
paid you to
place.
get a shave and a haircut at another place, at not Liberty, but at another place that does like a full service barber before. And the lady got all stressed out. And the next time I saw her, she's mad at me. She's like, how dare you send me that stooge? How dare you? Couldn't do anything with it. I'm a master and you send me a hunk of S.
You didn't believe that
No.
every time I go to these hairdressers that they wouldn't know how to cut my hair.
Every
Like,
time they would just take your hair and then like it would just be like a long stooge and they would just shorten the stooge. They would just like take a little. What's happening? Is your wife there?
Yeah, she's
Shorten the stooge.
here with my kids too. Hold on. Don't show.
Don't show the bedroom. Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Don't show the bedroom. What is she standing there
guys-
naked?
What's going on in the
Presenting the
bedroom?
tribe?
Okay. All right. Are the boys staying here? Okay. All right. I'll text you. Bye.
That's how the phone calls are every day at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you gotta have the codependent check-in to make sure everybody like we still love you.
Well, she was saying she's leaving, so I
Oh.
not that I have to watch my boys or anything. They'll just sit there and
I like that.
watch YouTube.
Are we gonna get EJ a haircut or no? I think we should. I think
we could get him one, but it's going to grow back into whatever stooge he has now because he won't keep it up. Because
I
he's
really wish that he would shave his head, bick it down, just for one. I mean, you really want to lean into the nerd jock. You shave it and then you bick it down so you look like Willy Wooly.
Professor X.
Yeah, and we just run with it.
Now, he needs to shave his beard off too, because now remember John Travolta once he finally took his toupee off, like he looks
good.
fine.
He looks good, like because he has the dimple chin and he gets the 5 o'clock shadow, and he actually looks quite fetching, I think.
Yeah. He looks way better than even with the toupee on.
Yeah,
the toupee looks stupid. But if EJ shaved his head and kept the beard, he would look cool. He looked like what's that? He looked like that mob boss or the Iron Man's partner that went against him. I forgot his name, but he's got a bald head and a beard like any villain. But if you shave the beard off, then you're full frog.
Yeah, then you're full frog. You don't want to do that. Let's try this one right here.
What's going on, D&D Media? It's Concrete Mike. Hey, on a recent BDM show, while Sam was on vacation, Spencer was brought up, and it reminded me of the store that we had in the mall where I grew up in upstate New York. It was called Deja Vu, and this was like a three-way hybrid store. You could go in and get cool, like, tie-dyes and, like, hippie-type clothing. It was also a head shop. You could go in there and get pipe accessories before all the glass and all that stuff. Most of it.
We had a lot of these shops that were Deland had a few that were half of it was crystals, and then some of it was head shop, and then maybe a little bit of music, and then maybe a little bit of alternative rock stickers, like an Alice in Chains decal or a Sublime sticker. You know what I'm talking about? These little stores. They're
yeah. They'd have incense, and they'd have handmade braided things, tie-dye stuff.
I'm fascinated by these type of stores, and Orlando has a few of them too. There are a few in really hip areas, like in the Ivanhoe area. There's an art store that you walk into it, and it's been there forever, and you walk into it and it's very kitschy. It's got little magnets and art and stuff. But I'm like, how do you afford to have this here? You've been here for decades, and I've never seen anybody purchase anything from you. What are you doing? There used to be a store in downtown DeLand. I'm not throwing shade, but it was called Merlin's Vision, and it was a crystal store, and all they sold were crystals. And then in the center of the store, there was a copper statue. It was imagine a geometric shape of a pyramid made out of copper. And there was a chair in the center of it. And I think old ladies would go there and hold crystals and sit in it to get rid of their cancers. I don't know, but it was weird. And I was always well, how do you afford this? Because even at that age, even as a young man, I'm 10 or 12 years old, I'd look at this, I'd be I know nothing in here works. I know none of these crystals are powerful. Because crystals that's not a real thing, right?
Yeah. It's stores for love. It's not for any sort of capitalism or to turn a profit. You own a store to keep yourself busy and because you love owning a store.
Newsflash, my wife is in the Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/TomAndDanLive. She says, I bought a ton of stuff from Deland's Merlin's Vision when I was in middle school because I redid my bedroom Moon and Stars. You did.
Moon and Stars.
Moon and Stars. You read a lot of girls were into the Moon and Stars, I guess.
So we've always talked about these businesses that exist that you never see any people or customers in them. And then you're how do you stay in business? How do you maintain your business or whatever? And I'm convinced they lose money every year. They don't have to pay tax. Obviously you can write it off or whatever, all your losses, but they must have some sort of inheritance or had some sort of lump sum of money where they bought the property or they could afford to pay rent in whatever store they have for 10 years and never really turn a profit. And then you just own a store, and maybe some months are busier than others. And you may, break even or maybe make $100 one month, but that's it, right? There's no way you're flourishing, right?
I walked in there to Merlin's Vision in Deland. I'd always walk around, and it was the type of store, and it's kind of hard to describe this, but maybe you and Sam will pick up what I'm saying here. You'd walk into it, and you felt like it was cool, like it had cool stuff, like the crystals looked cool, and obviously the copper chair of power or whatever it was looked cool, and it smelled good in there, and the incense smelled good, and the person behind the counter, you'd look at them, and you like as a young man, I'd look at this person and be like, oh, you're unique, you're different than I am, like maybe I want to be like you. You know what I mean? Like there are characteristics of like looking around and kind of trying to understand it, and I always felt like I wanted to buy something there. Like I always felt like, oh man, maybe I should buy a crystal that has a little piece of leather wrapped around it as a necklace that I can wear. Like maybe I should purchase a medallion or an amulet or so. I don't know what it made me want to buy something, but I never did.
Yeah. I mean, there's tons of mattress stores, and some of them I'm convinced are some sort of money laundering.
Andrea said that in Charleston, we were eating at a Mexican restaurant, and next to us was a mattress store. On the wall, on the window, a giant sign that said, "We only take appointments," and the whole place was locked down. And Andrea looks at it and she goes, "How does that place ever make money? Like, we only take appointments for the mattresses." As soon as she said that, the lights all turned on. A person walked to the door, and then the lady opened it and was like, "Oh, my 3 o'clock is here." And then they walked in. I'm like, well, there you go. I guess that's how they do it.
Yeah, but they also, I mean, if it is money laundering, you could say on the books, you sold X amount of mattresses,
Sure.
and you're just cooking the books, so it expresses whatever profit you want to say it expresses, because that's the money you need to clean from your illegal business to make it come out the other side of the mattress store, so that you can now spend it.
Yep.
And you pay yourself a $200,000 salary for being the CEO of the mattress store when it doesn't make any money. But then now you have income. Anyway.
Yeah, that's how you do it. We got to get out of here. We will be back tomorrow. Thank you guys for listening. TomandDan.com for all things Tom and Dan. Don't forget to, I guess we're still doing, as far as we know, I mean, me and Sam are still going to be at Truphonic and Little Stranger this weekend, Cafe Da Vinci, downtown DeLand. Speaking of downtown DeLand, you can walk down and see where Merlin's Vision used to be. Or is it still there? I don't know if it's still there. Anyway, bye-bye. It is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is live via Zoom from her home. What's up, Sam?
Hello.
Tom's also from his house, but I'm not. I'm not going to give you a big intro. I don't want to inflate your ego.
That's fine.
How you feeling, buddy?
What's on all those cabinets back there behind you?
Yeah, take us through a tour of your house.
Let's do a quarantine cribs with Tom Van.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's hold on. Let me.
He can't
my
do
wife's
that.
clothes.
Oh, maybe don't show us then. She's gonna get mad.
Oh, what if she's in the closet?
She already said not to show the bedroom.
Oh,
Dang, she's got a nice closet.
Hold on, I went to the wrong camera. Oh, that's the wrong camera. Hold on, I'm blowing everything. I'm going to the wrong cameras. Oh, that's the wrong camera.
Those closets.
Oh, I did something. Do they light up when you open them? Those are beautiful.
That's awesome.
That's fancy town.
That's an IKEA special.
I like that the lights open. Is it like magnetic
Hell
closures? Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
Dude, those things are not expensive at all, too. Like IKEA's got maybe it not the best quality. I mean, it's not hardwood.
It's certainly not the best quality.
But it looks fancy, right? And it's got
Is
lights
that the
inside.
one with the box cutter story?
Yeah. Oh,
yes,
yeah.
it is. Yes, it
okay.
is. Yeah,
I can show you the hole.
No, don't show. I don't want to see the hole.
Don't show the hole.
Yeah, the holes in where I had to cut the hole in is my side of the closet. I only need one side. I don't even need a closet really, because the only thing I really hang is my my polo shirts, my work shirts. Everything else in there I never even use. It's like a bunch of long sleeve shirts and other like stuff I never even wear. Like 90% of my clothes just sit in the drawer or in the closet.
Me
I
too.
should get rid of it all.
Yeah,
I should donate it.
I only wear t-shirts, really.
Like I keep a suit, like I got a couple suit jackets and some like long sleeve men's dress shirts and stuff, but I'm like, I never even wear these. I know I need to keep one or two, but I got a whole closet full of garbage that I can just donate. I'm too lazy to get it all into garbage bags and then
Just
donate
put it in the
you know?
trash. Don't even donate it. Half the stuff they don't even
No.
take. I don't donate anymore because, like, I'll put stuff into a bag, fold it, whatever. I bring it to them. They're like, we don't want this. No. And I'm like, well, why not? They're like, yeah, so we don't take it. And I'm like, well, then I'm putting it in the trash.
The clothes they'll take, you could just drop that off. There's bins and stuff.
I just throw them out my sunroof as I'm going down the road. Just whatever, like it's not littering if it's a sweater.
Have the veterans come pick it up from your house. I told you.
No,
all you got to do,
or even better,
all you have to do is bag it up, put it in the front of your house, and set a schedule for them to come pick it up, and they'll come grab it.
It's the setting the schedule, Sam.
I'll do that. I'll do that for you.
Do the veterans wear? Do they dress in like real uniforms? How do you know they're veterans?
Well, it's just Veterans of America. That's the company that comes pick it up.
I'm gonna need some like the things on the top of your shoulders, an admiral hat.
The problem is too, like I've got a drawer full of like old shorts, but they have like a missing button or like
when your fat shorts.
Throw those away.
The fat shorts where you blew the button off of them.
Yeah. Well, a lot of my shorts have missing front buttons.
I did that 3 years ago. I had a lot of those too. I was so fat, I was blowing the button off my dickies.
For me, it's because I am not unbuttoning the top of my shorts carefully. And I'm tugging at like each time I unbutton my shorts.
Oh, so fast!
Oh, you treat buttons. Yeah. You treat buttons like snaps.
Yes, I try.
You're a snap man.
I'm jerking at it.
Whoa.
I'm not being careful, and I think over time it just loosens the thread,
like
and
corduroy,
then it falls off.
like the bear corduroy who needed the little girl to sew his button back on so he could button his suspenders. You are Orlando's corduroy. You just need a young black girl and her single mom to rescue you from the department store.
So anyway, I have a hard time because I'm like, well, I should use these shorts for my outside work shorts.
But you don't think of it. You just get there and you get so excited to be out in the dirt that you just run for the dirt like a child running into a pool with his clothing on.
And then I got a bunch of Tom and Dan shirts that I feel like I should keep and not donate because I'm like,
Pause. Then you can never get mad at your wife for doing the same thing with her bongos. I've been waiting for you to say that you hold on to Tom and Dan shirts for nostalgia, and that's the same thing you get on her ass about when she saves her bongos and her parachute pants or whatever she wants to save, and you get so mad at her.
No, but I'm not keeping them from nostalgia. I'm just, if someone threw them away, I would not be mad.
Why can't that someone be you?
Because that's where laziness comes in. Because then I go over to it, and then I'm like, should I keep this? And like it's not bothering anybody, them being in drawers. I just don't need them. So it's
That's the definition of hoarding, by the way.
Yeah, it's fancy hoarding when you
it's
jump
not bothering anybody. It's just taking up space.
No, hoarding, if I have the clothes piled up and I'm walking through an alleyway of clothes.
Your garage is certifiable hoarder, dude.
I wish I could show you.
No, your wife would be so mad if you showed your garage right now. I made a comment at the fireworks, and you had a family member, and I will not say which family member it was, but you had a family member that was going hard on your garage and how it's terrible, psychologically damaging.
Hold on, I'm gonna go to my garage now.
Oh no! Can you bring the interface with you too? Okay, hey, if you got it figured out.
Don't show your bedroom. Crystal was very upset about that.
Yeah, don't show your bedroom.
Oh, wait until you see my garage. It's
that starfish.
Hey, don't look at the starfish.
He's dropping stuff.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm embarrassed to even show you this.
This is cool. Oh my God, this is like Stranger Things.
I feel like I'm watching when Andy Dick got busted in that RV.
That was a horrifying video that you made me watch, Sam. It's scary when the guy's banging on the door and pulls out the gun. Scary.
It's so bad.
Your garage. Let me walk you. We should walk through the garage, and me and Sam should ask, "What is this here for?" And then have you or Crystal explain why it has to be there.
Can you?
Oh no! Don't put this on camera.
What is going on?
Oh my
That's
God!
sad. That's bad. It looks worse on camera. It looks worse on camera.
The French witch legitimately scared me.
It looks worse on camber. There's a woman behind you about to kill you.
It's so bad. Look how
she looks
much
like she
garbage
works.
there
She
is.
looks like she works at Winn-Dixie. Look at her. She like works in the bread department.
Look how much.
Hold on, dude. That's embarrassing.
It's so full Look at there's
is all that?
What's the
Well,
flag? What's the flag?
There's a Sapo. The flag is the
Is that how you find your way out? Is the flag?
No.
It's a rescue flag.
The flag is we have cones. Remember my wife puts them out when the kids.
Those are my
used to play.
cones. I've been looking for those. I bought those when we were working for Orlando City.
There's so many kids.
What is that?
toys.
Is that
There's
a mini fridge?
There's a bunch of camping stuff,
Golf
and
clubs,
four-wheelers,
The kayaks are out there.
Oh yeah.
And then you know what I hate about your garage so much is that you guys do a lot of things that old ladies do. Like I see a bunch of things like a collection of 1,000 Matchbox cars, a collection of 1,000 Beanie Babies that you guys think you can flip. You're constantly trying to find that.
You're just surrounded by trash.
Yeah, look at that's embarrassing, dude. That's the worst thing we've ever put on Twitch.
You gotta do something.
I gotta get out here and clean it. But
how many ladders do you own? Do you own 1,000 ladders?
I have too many ladders.
You have a lot of ladders.
It's because who can throw away a ladder?
What if you got?
Oh, that's hoarding.
I'm saying who throws away a 6-foot folding ladder?
Give it away.
I think
ladder.
I actually heard my dad yell, "How do you throw away a ladder?" one time.
We gave Bart Merrick 2 ladders. And we still got him.
He doesn't want. Plus, the irony of you doing that, he's the tallest person we know. He's like 6'9".
Is there so much garbage in here?
Your wife's gonna be really mad that you did this. You better go back inside, cool off.
No, she'll never know.
What was that? Wait, go back.
Giant computer monitor?
Yeah, what was that? Was that a computer monitor? I saw that too,
No.
Sam.
What is that big white box?
The big
up
white
there?
box.
What? Oh, that's a styrofoam cooler that your wife gave
Oh, my
me to
God.
bring home the meat.
Throw it away.
It's a good cooler.
Oh, you're doing it. We're doing live hoarding. This is what we've become. We started a podcast.
You can never.
Samantha Hart, we started a podcast in 2009. Did you ever think that would morph into a live television program where we cover the people on the show's hoarding? Oh, now his new backdrop is the hoarding
Look,
land.
it's the telescope.
The telescope.
How many stars have you looked at?
When did you get a telescope?
Crystal got a telescope for Christmas like two years
What
ago.
is she, 14 years old?
For the boys and to look at the moon. and we went out there one night and looked at the moon.
Look at the moon. What'd they think of the moon? What was the verdict on the moon?
They were like, oh, cool.
Yeah, Andrea said, did the boys care?
No, of course they didn't care. I mean, they said they cared. Well, half
Good
of
boys.
it is they're like me. If they think they want you to care, then they'll act like they care.
Okay, look. Are you looking at the camera right now so you can see to your right? What is that? A poster on the wall?
Who's that? Pop on a poster?
Yeah, is that is that a naked lady Miller Lite ad? What is that?
No, that's my. That is my pop-up. That was my one photo that I hung up. The one nostalgia.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, okay. Look at him. Yeah, look how tough he is standing there posing it out.
Gangster.
That's dope.
Hold on, let me.
Look at that AC unit, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this place is
You got
right
fans and an AC
right
unit?
for catching on fire. That was the AC unit.
You keep
that was
it cool for
that
your
was the
trash.
laundry AC unit, right?
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta. Yeah, Sam's right. You gotta cool your trash.
You gotta make sure that trash is cold.
Sam just said you gotta cool your trash.
That AC, I almost got a divorce over that AC unit.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. You were touch and go for a while. Tell us about the AC unit. It was a little touch and go, right?
Okay. Well, all right. So, my Crystal wanted to.
In the chat room's laughing because you're Joe Rogan red right now. You're bright red and flame.
Turn on the AC.
Hold on, let me turn on the light over here.
Oh my god! Hey, how many fans do you have on the ceiling? It's got two
This
fans.
is turning in. I know. This is turning into the Froggy Fresh video where he's in his garage.
It does look like Froggy Fresh.
So we had this AC unit, and we got it for hurricanes, just in case another hurricane came and knocked out our power.
Yeah. The only hurricane that's going to come and knock out your power is EJ.
And so we had it sitting there, and it was on top of like these like storage. You'll see the storage. Hold on. I'll show you the storage area that we
look
built.
at all those survivor prep. Look at that survivor prep. Yeah, look at it. Now that looks like you're preppers. Like you're ready. They ready for the end of the world. It's coming. Send me.
That was the last time we organized our garage.
That looks great.
The whole garage was clean, and all that garbage in there was the garbage that's in here now. And then there was a small time where my garage was clean. Remember, I was joking around about putting my WRX in here.
Oh yeah, it always bothered me that I'm lucky now. I have to charge my car, so it goes in the garage. But I am a big fan of a garage kept car.
So anyway, we had the air conditioner in here for years. And one day I was like, I freaked out. I was like, we got to clean the garage. And then Crystal was like, well, it's too hot to do laundry in the garage because,
Well, how long are you in there? You're not folding it in there. Right. You just throw it in, you dump in soap, you hit start, and you walk back into the air conditioner.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
That's a COVID.
Oh, you got it.
I think I got it.
So, well, that's the thing. Well, she didn't want to she wanted to fold the laundry in the garage because she says
you're supposed to fold it on the piano.
No, well, that's the problem because if she brings it inside, it just lives in the piano and it never gets folded. Right?
Put it all inside the piano. Okay, you clean out the interior of the piano, put all the clothes inside the piano. It's now a closed piano.
Daniel, it's the same mentality of, like when we're on a road trip, Crystal will be like, take these chips away from me. Remember they take the chips away?
I do that to Andrea, though, so you're not going to win on this one.
No, but I'm saying there's no she knows that once it's my fault too. I could fold the damn laundry, but once we bring the clean laundry in and pile it anywhere, then it's very hard for the vans to then fold that laundry, especially if it stays for one day.
Yeah.
Like if it stays there for one day, it's never leaving.
Yeah, then we just pull out of it. Then you pull out of it. Let me tell you something that I'm proud of, much like your pop. I don't have many of these, but I do have one. I'll cook, I'll clean the kitchen, I'll clean anything, I'll try to fix anything, whatever my wife needs. But in the time that I have known, the time that I've loved and married, and currently with my wife, I have never, ever folded laundry. Not one time. Not once.
Are you serious?
Not once. I'll wash it. I'll dry it. I have never folded laundry. Not even one time. That's like Merle Van. I've never done it. Never. Like he said with diapers, right? He said, I've never changed. I have never folded clothing. And if my wife's in the chat room, she will back me up because I'm not good at it. Do
you have a giant roll of toilet paper sitting behind you?
Oh, this thing? No.
No, the other way.
What is that? Side. Is that a ghost?
That looks like it's sheets.
Do you wear that?
The last when we had to flip the Airbnb ourselves, we had to bring the sheets home. We gotta get them over.
So you haven't laundered the sheets?
No, well, we're not. The cleaning lady is she's fine now, so she's cleaning.
She got
Thursday.
shot, right?
No, she's good.
I started that rumor. I was like,
what?
I said our cleaning lady got shot.
That's my workbench napkins.
Workbench napkins. This is a mess, dude.
Oh man, I have to turn the air on in here. Workbench napkins. Wow, you poor thing.
Most real men have like rags
out there in the heat. No, I don't, Sam. I don't think you know what he's using them for.
Are those fishing poles? You don't even fish.
One of those is mine. One of those is mine. Seriously, one of those is mine for my birthday gift. For my wife.
Half of your stuff is there, Dan.
Oh, that's in. Oh, you should see my pool shed.
Oh, take us to the shed. Take us to the shed.
Hold on. I'll take you over to the pool shed. Hold on.
This is awesome. We should have done this a long time ago. Ever. Yeah, this is fantastic. How good's your internet? You still got the bad internet? Didn't your wife switch you to Uverse or whatever? And you guys got 1 megabit up?
Let's say you lose me. Hold on. So here's my pool shed.
Oh my God.
And this,
he's going in.
Oh, it's filled to the brim.
Oh my God, dude.
Can you
what are you?
It looks like
there's a pressure washer. There's an old O'Neill trick skis. Daniel's
so many propane tanks.
I could, but who, like, what
How
if I
many
need a
propane tanks
tank?
do you have? You could start cutting them in half and making art like Southern people do in Georgia. They make like little pigs out of propane tanks. And
there's a bounce house, leaf blower, a pressure washer, beach
Is the
toys.
fog machine in there?
yeah, is the fog? Oh no, I have the fog machine.
Daniel's got the fog machine.
I forgot about it. Andrea said she stashed it, so it's like it's all cleaned up and packed away for my Halloween this year. My fog machine. Do you know I found a commercial?
Your squinty face is hilarious.
Oh, you should see the other side of my house. I'm not even gonna go show you that.
Oh, what
Oh,
happened?
he's ashamed of that. but not
What's
the
wrong with
garage
the
and
other side of your house?
tool shed?
Well, that's my plant area where I hoarded a bunch of plant fertilizer. And
The whole
soils.
chat room is now like, now we got to do this at my house. Well, if I take you through my garage, though, it's going to be so boring. You're going to be like, I'll be like, here's my car, and here's where I plug it in, and here's all the stuff I use to wash my car. That's it.
Tom, they want us. The chat is requesting to see your sod.
Oh, you want to see my
Sod
sod?
looks
I'm
good.
very proud.
Sod looks good. The house
No,
looks
he's proud to show the sod.
Yeah, the house looks amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's like any hoarder. The outside of your house is immaculate.
That's true. Or at
Because it's
least
the only-
nondescript. Sometimes not immaculate because you want to throw off the people giving you the warnings and stuff, right?
There's
There
that
it is.
staghorn.
Look how good it looks. It looks good.
Your face.
He's doing his squinty face. Yeah, squinty dad face. It looks good. Show him your little rock path you did. Excellent rock path.
It looks like I'm on a green screen, right?
A little bit. Yeah.
It looks like my head is on a green screen. Like,
It does look like a weird fake Zoom background. It's like this Zoom background is Florida house.
oh, big ass branch fell on my sod.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, I wish I could do yard work and the show every day.
This is the hair witch
Oh, look,
project.
now you get to see. Now this is. Oh, look at him.
We're going to see up your shorts, bro.
Oh, I just saw up your shorts. Your legs got
It's a
skinnier
bad
for the
angle.
COVID is making your legs skinnier. My God.
Why do you have Jinkos on?
I know. Why are your leg holes so big?
They're long.
God, it looked like a bell.
They're the villain corduroy shorts, but they're longer than my normal 4 inchers.
Oh,
I'm not used to not seeing your knees.
Yeah, he told me he's never going to wear long shorts in here because it makes it too comfortable for you. You want to do another voicemail? Or are you going back inside?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm pulling one here. Let's try. Let's try this one right here. This one has to do. It ties into your house, Tom. This one ties into the pool party that we were just at, and your displeasure in the idea that you made the hamburgers, you made the hot dogs, and you were mad. You were upset. So, BDM Neil weighs in.
Yo, BDM Neil here. I sent my message to Sam for Shark Week. I haven't messaged in a while. I just want to let you know we got a new Tom and Dan listener. I have 2 girls, as you guys probably recall. I always call about Aria and stuff like that. Well, now I have a baby boy, baby. Let's go. The name lives on. The BDM Neil name lives on, baby. All right, so I was just thinking, because you guys are talking about the party, the birthday party from the weekend, about burgers and everything. So, what is honestly the difference? Because if I'm going to a party, or if I see kids go, unless it's literally at Monkey Joe's or one of those play places where they cut the pizzas in half, so it's like you're eating a half pizza. So yeah, you're gonna have 2.
I'm going to help Neil out because he has a tendency to ramble, but his premise is solid. He said, and I've seen memes that are like this too, Tom, where it's like if there's pizzas, sometimes if you're an adult and there's pizzas, you'll just grab one slice of cheese pizza. You realize that it's cheese pizza, you're an adult, that pizza's for the kids. But he brings up a good point. What you should have done with the hamburgers is made them, assembled them plain, and then just cut them in half so everybody got a half burger.
Or mini burger.
Yeah, mini burger is a good take. But then he brings up another point, and it's a really long voicemail, but Neil, thank you for calling. He talks about how if it's a party, though, and you're providing hamburgers, most adults eat 2 hamburgers. You know what I mean? When I go to a barbecue, if I barbecue hamburgers myself at my house, I will have a hamburger and a hot dog and some chips.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, or 2 hamburgers or 2 hot dogs and some chips. It's usually one of each, 2 hamburgers, I would say, is a little heavier, but I'll do it, or a hamburger and a half, and I'll split one with Andrea, have another one. But, like, it's weird to think that in that scenario where it's a barbecue, I felt more comfortable going in, and you were saying, no, that nobody wanted it. That's why I was disagreeing, is I thought most of the time when you're cooking stuff there at the house, you want to eat it all.
Yes, in traditional barbecues. And that's what I'm saying. I think the psychology behind what people are used to is why they were weirded out by the hamburgers, hot dogs, because because they came for a kids party, not a barbecue.
Right.
If you come for a barbecue, you come to eat barbecue, right? But you come to a kids party, what I think nowadays everybody's used to doing is there's only cheese pizza there, or what is that?
Did you not provide the menu on the invite of what you were making?
No, because with a kids party invite, it's basically like, here's the time, we're doing this, we have a slide or whatever. Like, it's very simple. It's not, it's basically.
Oh, I would have said we're having hamburgers, hot dogs, just in case kids didn't want to eat it. They could feed their kid before they come or whatever.
No. Well, kids parties, it seems the norm.
I mean, I've been to kids parties.
Did they give you a menu?
They'll either say pizza will be provided or hamburgers and hot dogs will be provided.
I don't look at any of this. I guess Andrea puts it with the clothes she's folding.
Yeah. Like, I just feel like the standard is cheese pizza now, and we deviated from the standard, and everybody's weirded out by that, especially the kids. The kids don't want GD hot dogs anymore, or they don't want hot dogs.
Too many kids eat the fake hot dogs. You can't, like, a hot dog used to be kid food. Like, it used to be like, there's kids here, give them hot dogs. You can't now, because a lot of kids like, that's too fattening or whatever. Some kids are vegetarian. They don't eat it, Like, hot dog used to be the international kid food. I don't think it is anymore. Neither is the chicken nugget. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know anymore.
To be honest, hot dogs, they taste delicious, but the reality of them are gross. And I think a lot of people really, it's ground up pieces of an animal that you couldn't eat otherwise if they weren't ground up.
Correct.
And that's the reality of hot dogs is it's ground scrap meat pushed into
a tube
wiener-like form.
Well, it's pushed. Yeah. Well, wasn't it originally you would take the animal and you would find the tastiest parts and you would grind them with some fat in it, and then you would push that ground version of the animal into their own intestines and then ties off the ends, right? You tie off the ends. That way you grill it up into a tube. It's very insulting. It'd be like if somebody killed me and then stuffed my entire body into my, I don't know, into my stomach or something, and cook that up.
Now, sausage is good. It's just the hot dog is the bologna of deli meat, right?
Right.
It's just
kind of like we're the bologna of radio.
Yeah. So I think the reality of hot dogs have not been good for the marketing of hot dogs.
Now, to go back to this meme that I saw yesterday that ties in, on the meme it said, and I agree with this, it was like if you go to a cookout, by the way, people are very specific about that, and I want to get in front of this before I get the comments. If you're going to someone's house for barbecue, that's like they're making barbecue. If you're having hamburgers and hot dogs, that's a cookout, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to get that right, because some people get angry if you come over and they're like, I thought you said you were having a barbecue. I brought like pork. I brought like, something to smoke or whatever. But cookout is hamburgers, hot dogs, barbecue is barbecue. So on this particular meme that I saw on Reddit, it said, if you go to a party, if you go to McDonald's, you eat like 3 hamburgers or 2 hamburgers, everybody gets mad. But if you go to a cookout and you eat 2 hamburgers, it's like expected, right? That is different. You call somebody fat. If you see them at McDonald's, they have 2 hamburgers. You're like, oh, look at this fat ass. But if you go to a birthday party, normally I'm going to eat 2 hamburgers or a hot dog and a hamburger. Like, I'm going to go.
Yes. And it also depends how many are provided, right? Like if there's an overabundance of them, then I feel like if there's one per person, you know what I'm saying?
You were looking at me and the dad, I don't know his name, the dad I was talking to, Orlando City dad at your party.
Oh, yeah.
You gave me, Orlando City dad, and Andrea Dennis all the evil eye because we got in line first to get our hamburgers. And the look I felt from you was, "Oh, what are you doing? You're taking all the hamburgers from the kids." That's what I felt.
No, I wanted you guys to eat because I knew
They were great.
No, once I made them, I realized while I was making them, and it was hot as hell outside, and but I was standing there, and I was like, "This is gonna be weird for especially the parents I don't know. Like all our friends and family, it's fine because you guys have been to a million cookouts in my backyard for pool parties, right? But the stranger parents that came over the first time they've ever been to our house." Then they're coming for a kid's birthday party. They probably expected just the pizza or whatever, or they came there and they already ate, and they just came there for they were gonna have their kids eat, and they were gonna but their kids didn't even eat because I didn't provide pizza and they don't want the stinky hot dog.
Can I critique other things about your party to kind of crap on it?
Yep.
Recycle bin is too small outside. The little one, because it's a little recycle bin next to a big trash, and it's too hard to wiggle my alcohol cans to the bottom so people don't see them. Too small.
Yeah. That's our old kitchen trash can that we thought was fancy, so we put it outside.
It's brushed aluminum. It is fancy.
Yeah, but now we got the aluminum trash can outside was the fanciest we can get an outside trash can.
Yeah, that was Deltona fancy.
Now we have the open the kitchen drawer trash can inside the drawer, which is the fanciest.
I like
of
that.
trash cans.
My mom always said rich people have a drawer of trash. And I was like, they do. Look, they do. And then I went over to Phil Rollins, formerly, maybe still, I don't know, owner of Orlando City, and I opened his mansion, the goddamn trash can in there, filled with trash. And when you push it closed, it looks like beautiful sculpted mahogany.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. The richer you get, the more trash you put in your drawer.
That is true. Let's go. Oh, another hot topic that apparently you and I were very disrespectful to all of our listeners that have Peyronie's disease. Man, we got a lot of guys out there with left turn weenies. A lot of them out there.
Hey guys, listening to Monday's BDM show. Peyronie's disease. I mean, I'm average. I got like 8.5, 9 when erect, and it's got a bend and a little bit of a twist.
That's not
to it, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
it's not painful. I mean, it's bent and twisted. I always said it was for her pleasure. I don't know.
Twisted?
But
yeah,
this guy's maybe
I love that. The only reason I kept that voicemail is because he said, "I always thought it was for her pleasure." First time you've heard that, I bet.
Also, if you have 8 or 9, you are well aware. If you're an adult, you are well aware that is not average.
Also, if you don't have 8 or 9, you're well aware that you don't have that.
No, I know.
Like every day when I walk in the shower, there's no jangling, if you know what I mean. Everything that I have is so small, it's close to the vest, if you know if you're picking up when I'm laying down.
Yeah. It's tightly packed.
Yeah. Exactly. Compact. Efficient. I call it efficient.
What we were confused about, which now we know, or at least I do, is that not all bins means Peyronie disease.
Right.
So we thought, I didn't know. I was ignorant. I was like, well, it seemed like they were saying all bins in the commercial were Peyronie's disease, but
all bins matter.
That's not the case. The Peyronie's disease causes the bend, which can be painful, and there's a whole disease associated with it.
Right.
And sometimes it's just naturally bent, and that doesn't mean you have Peyronie's disease. It's just bent, right?
Yes, that is what I kind of picked up from it. I just didn't realize it was such a common thing. Like, you start talking about that. I mean, like, okay, this I do know just from getting clothes tailored, that every man, from what I was told, automatically, no matter what size you are, you have a certain way that you, quote, dress. So, like, for me, if I'm getting tailored, like as I stand here in the studio, when I stand up, I dress to the left. So mine, naturally, the position that it goes in is I'm a lefty. What say you, Tom Van?
We've talked about this before. There's no way it goes. It's just it's not going.
You blew Sam's headphones off.
There's no way it goes.
That doesn't even.
It's not
that's
one.
Yeah, yours is more of a free spirit. It's all around. It's like changing.
Now let me ask this question.
Because I think like this is the same question
described
for
this
ladies. No, I think like for ladies, it's like asking Sam or my wife or your wife. You have one breast that is larger than the other.
That's what I was going to ask.
Okay, I'll let you take it because I don't have these.
Because one breast is always bigger or smaller than the other, right?
Always,
But it's
always.
usually such a slight difference you can't really tell. Is it the same with a male's balls?
Oh no!
So
well,
that's why you hang to the left. One is bigger and it shifts it.
No, that's just anatomy, and I think all men have one that's lower than the other, just based on design. But the wean and the dressing of it should just be the natural way that your body, I think, was formed as a baby. You know, I think that's just kind of, you know, like I have 1 foot, like Tom has 1 foot that's slightly larger than the other, right?
Yeah, but that's from it being broken when I was like 15.
My dad had a
Never-
leg that was slightly like he had to build up his shoe because he had like a half an inch. One leg was shorter than the other.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's like that. It's like parting your hair. Somebody said.
I've described it by saying it's like asking me which way my nose hangs under my mask. It's not
straight
not how it
down.
works.
But mine does though. So like I can cross my eyes and look at the tip of my nose and the way it's been broken and mishandled, and I dress to the left on that as well. It's got a slight bend to the left. You can't see that? If you cross your eyes and look down the tip of your nose, you can't see well, you're not you don't notice things. So what am I even asking you? I'm an idiot.
I just see a big red gem blossom. I'm like, beautiful flower I've created.
Let's try this one right here. This is, I believe it's about Demolition Man.
Listening to the last BDM show, and Sam mentioned the 3 seashells and that she finally watched the movie. I'm dying to hear how she, her review of the movie, since it's been so long and we all loved it as kids.
I like how exhausted that guy sound giving the, I finally listened to. He was tired. He was out of breath when he said that. So, Sam, you did watch Demolition Man. What were your thoughts?
I did. It was fine. I didn't hate it. It was corny. It was cheesy, but that was, the time. It was just your average 80s, like action movie.
No action banger. No big deal.
Yeah. It was fine.
I feel like
I didn't love it.
Do we miss those type of movies? Do we even have those now? Because there was a time when there were a lot of...
No, now all we have is Marvel.
Well, but I needed them to be a little cheesy. Like my dad would roll through the box office video or whatever we had at the time, and would pick up. Most of them were from like Octagon Films. Do you remember Octagon Films? Sam, look up Octagon Films. I think they did a lot of like the Delta Force movies, and there were certain production companies like your Troma. I wouldn't put them in the mix of what I'm talking about, but there were certain production companies that did like low budget or mid-level action, and I don't feel like we get a lot of that now because just the way everything's kind of shaken out.
Well, it's all superhero movies because the global.
I feel like most action movies now are superhero movies.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of the last action movie I've seen. It's probably like Tenet or something.
There's one called The Gray Man that my wife was trying to get me to watch last night.
Oh yeah,
Ryan Gosling. And
that's why I want to watch it.
I wish my wife liked action movies, and Ryan Gosling doesn't even it doesn't even move the needle. So I don't get to watch anything with a action hero in it.
I'm not joking. We watched the trailer, and then I'm like, "Well, he's not a superhero." I didn't want to watch it.
It was Canon Films. EJ is saying Canon Films. They did Bloodsport. Good job, EJ. Yeah, something like that. There were different movie houses that were sort of dedicated to like, we know our lane. We're gonna do like Navy SEALs. We're gonna do Vietnam. We're going to do like the Rambo style Vietnam, like, one man versus an army of 3,000 Nicaraguan. There was always like drug lord versus one guy that, all he wanted to do is live in the woods and raise his daughter, but they wouldn't have got him, and now he's got to kill all the guys. I feel like we miss, like there was some fun in like knowing what those type of movies were. Now everything's so complicated and politicized, and
You know what? And Sam, you'll remember this from Demolition Man. What always made me mad was when they went to the History Museum to get the guns. When I forgot what Wesley Snipes' character was in Demolition Man, but he goes to the museum because that's where they showed all the like what guns used to look like, and that he needed the guns to fight Sylvester.
Yeah.
And then
Stallone, not the cat.
He goes and he gets the guns, but they still had bullets. Like they had ammunition, and you would think
they were loaded. Yeah.
Same armorer as the Rust set.
Who would? I thought to myself, I was like, well, if they've made guns illegal and they're just showing them in a museum, why keep all the ammunition? You would think they would destroy the ammunition and be like, well, we'll keep the gun to show them in the museum, but there's no need for the ammunition. Why would
they
we
didn't
keep this?
show like a installation of the ammunition too? Because I do feel like they would have the gun, and then underneath it they'd be like, and these are the armor piercing bullets that they would have used.
I thought of that too, but I would think they'd take the gunpowder out of them for safety purposes.
They did for my dad bought me when I was 8 or 9 a grenade from Al's Army Navy in Daytona Beach where they had sawed off the bottom of the grenade and drained all the gunpowder out of it.
Yeah.
I
And then
still
it's just a
have it.
paperweight.
Yeah, and you could just pull the pin and throw it in the woods, and then you'd spend the rest of the evening trying to find the black grenade that you threw in the leaf pile. You couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But man, I love that thing. It was neat.
And this is, by the way, why I can't watch a lot of fantasy movies is because I just can't stop thinking about and then I started thinking about what I understand they had to put this in there. They had to have some way for Wesley Snipes to get a hold of a bunch of guns for them to have a gunfight, right? They need that in Demolition Man. So what are the way they explain it? But I feel like they could have written some reason why they kept the live ammunition in there. Like just one.
You know what, Tom? You can stop talking because you're the only one that obsessed about it.
Yeah, like I never thought
Most
about
people
that.
don't care.
Yeah,
Most people never even observed it.
But couldn't they,
I'm so stupid. I was like, oh God, the museum, it's brilliant. And that's where he went. Like I'm like the other way. I'm the opposite of what you're saying. I'm like genius.
Couldn't they have had like one nerdy museum manager like run out and be like, I told them to take the gunpowder out of the ammunition, but no one listened to me. And that's
would that
all
make
had
you
to
feel
say.
better? Or would you be like, oh,
Well,
Just one line
I'm
would've
so
made you feel
relaxed
better.
now. Thank God they had that nerd.
Well, at least I could have been like, oh, okay, well, that explains it. But just never mentioning why there's a bunch of live ammunition.
But that's not the
laying around.
fascinating part to me. The fascinating part to me, and I think you're of above average intelligence. I just had this conversation with you when you didn't have COVID, or when you did have it in here, but we weren't giving it to each other. Why bring it up while you're alone with your wife watching the movie? You're really good at keeping your mouth shut. Why do you feel the need to lean over to her and go, where'd they get the gunpowder? Like why didn't they take why do you feel the need to do that?
Because I forget that not everybody is thinking this, and I think that I will they'll be happy that I shared this and be like, yeah, you're right. This is
let's turn this off and go outside.
You want everyone else not to enjoy anything like you.
Yeah, exactly. That's
okay.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Now you got something.
We got it.
Why
We got
are you having so much fun watching this when there's an obvious flaw in the plot?
We'll plug some stuff because we got to get out of here, my friend. It is a Friday. We've done enough Zoom calling for me. I'm good with it. I got my fill.
Yep.
Is there anything we need to plug other than the Little Stranger and True Phonic concert that we're going to be at tonight? It's in Cafe Da Vinci. We're going to get there around 8, I think, a little before 8 maybe.
Yeah. And I think that's it. And subscribe to become a BDM. This whole COVID thing push back the BDM invite to the beach party a little bit. So we'll get that out, but you got to be a BDM to get the invite. So subscribe at tomanddan.com. It's $1.95 a month.
Indeed. Tom, Sam, great seeing you guys. It'll be better when you all get back in here. Have great weekends, everybody, and we will see you next week.